Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mahalingam, sir. Mahalingam, sir, good morning. கேக்குதுங்களா?
Sir, unmute பண்ணல. சார் எப்படி பிளான் பண்ணிக்கணும் சார் இன்னைக்கு?
எப்படி மகாலிங்கம் சார்? மகாலிங்கம் ஜி.
எப்படி பிளான் பண்ணிக்கணும் சார்?
நான் பிபிடி ரெடி பண்ணிருக்கேன்.
ஓகே.
நான் வேணா வந்து பிரசன்ட் பண்றதுன்னா பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கிறேன்.
சரி.
இன் பிட்வீன் நீங்க அந்த பிபிடில ஏதாவது நீங்க அடிஷனலா நம்ம ஆட் பண்ணிட்டே போலாம்.
சரி.
And in case if they have any other queries, let them start asking the questions.
ஓகே.
அந்த மாதிரி வேணா பண்ணலாம்.
ஓகே சார்.
மேம் யூடியூப் ஆஃப் பண்றீங்க மேடம் நீங்க? யூடியூப்ல.
ஓகே. மியூட் பண்ணிட்டேன்.
ஓகே. இன்னொரு 5 minutes பாப்போம் மேடம். ஜாயின் ஆயிட்டு இருக்காங்க இப்பதான்.
கொஞ்சம் தான் வந்திருக்காங்க, கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டா.
Mahalingam sir. Mahalingam sir. Mahalingam sir. Hello. Hello. Mahalingam sir. Madam, I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay.
Yes, unmuted. Then what is happened?
Headphone
good morning,
போடலையே
sir.
எனக்கு தெரியல அவரு.
அப்படிதான்.
Hello, Mahalingam sir. இப்போ ஞாபகம் வருது இருக்கு. ஹெட்ஃபோன் எடுக்கிறாரு. Mahalingam sir.
response sir, sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible now.
Hello,
Sir. You are audible only.
Sir, you are audible, sir, now.
Okay.
sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I can't hear your voices.
Sir,
One minute,
we are able.
check.
Please check it, sir, because we are able to hear you nicely.
Hello,
சொல்லுங்க sir.
Hello. Now
Please tell me,
audible,
sir.
sir.
Are we able to? Hello. Mahalingam sir, நாங்க பேசுறோம்.
yes. இப்ப கேக்குது.
Okay, done, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Mahalingam sir, I have prepared a PPT, sir. Have you prepared anything, sir? PPT is there with you?
No. I have only one slide.
Okay.
Which is predatory journals.
Okay.
That slide I will screenshot it.
Okay.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Hearty welcome to the fifth and the last day of the Faculty Development Program conducted by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Raniana Government College for Women, Tirunelveli, on the topic Research Methodology and Journal Publishing. Today's topic for discussion is journal selection and identifying predatory journals, which is the need of the hour for the research fraternity. Scholarly publishing is important for faculty members as it fulfills the promotion requirement, enhances the credibility and reputation of the researcher, institutions, and the country as a whole. Often, the universities require their faculty members and students to publish regularly, and this pressure to publish may lead to a variety of unethical practices. The other day we heard publish or perish, and here comes the pressure to publish, highlighting the need for publication. Usually, the number of publications is often linked with promotions, pay incentives, and fulfillment of degree requirements too, especially for research scholars. Sometimes it does not consider the quality of work reflected by the impact factor and repute of the publishing journal and the number of citations. When quality is preferred, When quantity is preferred over the quality, the outcome is expected to be low. Hence, there is a contradiction between quantity versus quality. But remember that always quality matters than the quantity. Scientific publishing has evolved over the years from subscription based print only journals to the open access, freely available, numerous online journals. Now, the big question in front of us is, what is a predatory journal? While the scholarly publishing paradigm is gradually moving to open access environment that fosters the advancement of high quality, peer-reviewed, open access publications, it simultaneously has also provided opportunities for certain journals and publishers to engage in unprofessional or unethical practices. These journals and publishers are termed as predatory journals or publishers. The new era of open access publishing has made publication of scientific research easier and more accessible. This new publishing platform allows for greater visibility of research within the academic community and the public eyes. Open access journals operate on an author-based business model, whereby the author pays a fee to have their research published online. Publishing online allows authors to sidestep the barriers of print, making their work more quickly published and their free availability to a wider audience. With huge benefits of open access publishing for both authors and readers, there are now hundreds of new open access journals being set up by reputable publishers. However, this rise in popularity has also opened the door to less respectable predatory journals that are abusing the author pay model and risking the integrity of published research. That is the tragic scenario of the current research world. Predatory journals are scam publishers that charge authors fees but do not provide the service they promise. These journals will often have professional looking websites, list an accredited editorial team, and advertise their membership to professional organizations that promote publishing best services. Many predatory journals tend to send out phishing and repeated emails, whether it is connected or not, asking individuals to submit their articles or invitations to become a member of the editorial team. Identification of these predatory journals is a mountainous task in front of every researcher. Today, we have the special deliberation exclusively meant for the identification and avoidance of predatory journals to scale up the reputation of the researcher, the institution, and the university to which the researcher belongs. With these words, let's go into the discussion parts by Dr. Sumantran, Founder, Managing Director, Coimbatore Research Forum, and Managing Director, Institute of Management Development and Research, and Dr. Vishwanathan Mahalingam, Founder, the Royal Author Services. Both are familiar to us and need no introduction at all. They are going to give an account of predatory journals and give us an insight on spotting and dodging the predatory journals for the upliftment of the research community. So be ready to spot and dodge. Once again, I welcome all the participants and the resource persons to this forum today. Welcome you. Over to Dr. Sumantran.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mahalingam sir, you can start off with the session, sir, because my PPT is something very huge. It may go beyond limits, so you can start off and give a hint about, because when it is less, then I can jump away from those slides. If I tell something which you have, then maybe it will become difficult. So you start it off, sir. No problem, sir.
Okay, I have only one slide. Just
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Shall I scan?
Yes, sir. You can share it, sir. You can share it.
Yes, welcome everyone. The first thing you have to do now is just check if you have already published. Just go to this website. It's not clearly seen, I think. Stop predatory journals. Search in the Google. Just stop predatory journals or go to predatoryjournals.com and see the list. Just check whether you have published in any of these journals. That is the first thing you have already published. Or if you are about to publish in journals, this is also then also it is useful because it is A to Z, it is listed. What are all the journals? They are predatory. They have been found, and you can also suggest. You can also complain them if you come across some predatory journals. So far, I have mentioned 4 journals as predatory, and they have also accepted. You can also mail the team. So how to identify these predatory journals? First of all, what are predatory journals you might be knowing? Actually, they only produce pseudoscientists. Whatever, whether you have done it or not, you can publish. That is the actual work what a predatory journal does. It will produce pseudoscientists. Scientists here means all researchers, and they extract money, they tarnish the credibility and reputation, and make you fall as a prey. They extort huge money, and at last, what is okay? You may ask, okay, I want to publish, I want to get promotion, I want to get my degree. What if I publish in all these predatory journals? But now you have at least something to search in the literature so that you can write literature survey, or you can get what is the research gap, and you can develop your research. But if everybody is, or most of us are publishing in these predatory journals, our generations our younger generations will get only rubbish in the research pool. So we are all going to add all rubbish if you publish in predatory journals. Maybe your content is good, but even if you publish in predatory journal, they will not be cited. So in that way, that will tarnish your credibility and reputation. So here I will give you some of the methods of identifying them. First, you see the name of the journal. I cannot generalize because many international journals, they do not have the tag international. No. But most of the predatory journals, they will have international, although they are really not. So one way you can identify, but it cannot be generalized because many very good journals, they are truly international. They have also some international tag, right? And peer review will not be there. If you upload today or mail today, it will be published within 2 days. That means there is no peer review. Then unqualified editorial code. So whatever journal you see, just go to the website and check. First of all, check the design of the website. It will be very, very poor, or it will be a copycat of some other very good journal's portal. Then you check the quality of the people in the editorial board. They will be almost they will be known to you. They will be in your region or within the country or within a particular state. Or they may voluntarily add some Indian who is residing abroad and claiming him as an international member of the editorial board. And improper index. If you see citation, if you see impact factor, you will not believe. 7.1. 4.3. When was it started? It was started only last year or this month. And name and mission. You just see the title of the journal and see the mission of the journal. They will not match, and they will have only a broad scope. Say for example, multidisciplinary. Actually, it should narrow down. In research, the title of the journal should narrow down. So, since I am coming from a chemistry background, there is a journal called nitric oxide. So one particular compound they are running a journal. So in that way, run by Elsevier. In that way, you should have the title very narrow. So the field should be very, very narrow. So in social sciences, you can ask Sunendran sir, microfinance, some kind of like that. So in title, you should not have all engineering, mathematics, science, management, education. If it is the case, then you can definitely say that that is a predatory journal. So, but why are these predatory journals? How do these predatory journals emerge? That is because of the researchers only, by our community only. Because we want to publish anything even though if it is not publishable, even though if it does not have any quality. So we are in an urge to publish, so they emerge. They extract money. So I have heard people spending money up to 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs to publish their unpublishable material in any journal. But the sad thing is, some of these journals are in our UGC or whatever you call UGC listed, CAR listed, and in Anna University, Annexure 1, 2. So in many lists, these predatory journals are listed. So you should be very, very careful. Just go to the website and make a complete analysis. Then you can easily identify and avoid falling prey to these predatory journals. So with this, I hand over the session to Dr. Sumedran. Later we will have discussions, and if you have any questions, we can give answers. Thank you, Dr. Sumedran. Thank you, Dr. Darling.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. You have given a very clear gist of what exactly predatory journal is. I will just go about with my point of view with regard to predatory journals. Okay, journal selection and predatory journals. It is nothing but like what Mahalingam sir said. It is a prey. You fall as a prey to the people who are publishing. So, predatory journals, what it is, what they do. So it refers to the entities that prey on academicians for financial profit. Nothing else. Just to have some financial profit with a word called as article processing charge for the open access articles without meeting the standards of publishing. This is what is called as predatory. Normally, there are many journals available today. We can't count what is the exact number of predatory journals available. It is there, which says as article processing charge, and some people are even directly coming out with saying publication fee. So these people, they get the money from the authors or the academicians or the researchers, and without even having any kind of standard in those papers, they publish those things. So these problems are happening in terms when we say about this particular predatory journals. Now, normally what happens is we normally go for the copyright transfer when we write an article. So here what happens is normally the transfer or copyright form is given from the author side, and we ourselves, we also pay the money for that particular journal. Then they are predatory. Normally all the closed access journals, whichever is there, say from Taylor and Francis, or it is from some of the Elsevier journals are there, which normally charges from the reader. Then maybe that particular part of the journal wherein you are not paying as a researcher or as a author, you are not paying the money. Please don't pay money for publishing your papers. Let the money be charged from the readers. Then the reader will be having a citation. They will understand the paper. Then they will cite your paper. So this open access model has today become a place where most of the papers are being taken out and it is being published without even doing a plagiarism. So these predatory people are there who are good enough in working with what we call creation of websites. They know how to create websites. They know how to do the marketing. They do all these things and they spoil the entire academic scenario. It's very tough for any one of us to find out the predatory journals. Very, very tough. So it is relatively a recent phenomenon. They collect all the academic or article processing charge and they publish it without any kind of relation to their particular objective of the journal, or like what Mahalingam sir has said with regard to their vision or mission of why do they publish. They themselves do not know, because they want money and they want to earn that money in a short span of time. They go for this kind of publishing. They create the websites, they create everything and then they do it. So what are the common practices? If you have seen many common practices which we have seen is they'll be sending frequent emails. They'll be sending some kind of individuals soliciting the manuscript submission part is concerned. And most of the cases, these mails will be coming from Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Rediff Mail. See, journal has a website. Why not the editor of the journal send it from their website email ID? That is where the problem lies. They will not send it. They will not send it from the journal website address. They will be sending it from a Gmail address, and any correspondence you have to do it only with Gmail address or with the Rediff mail or the Yahoo mail. So these mails which is coming from other email IDs, yes, we can immediately say it is a predatory journal or it is being run by some other person. And they will promise immediate publication. Immediate publication in 2 days, not even 2 days, maybe within 24 hours also the publication can be done. The scenario is such a way that you send the paper and pay the money. Morning by 9 o'clock if you do it, maybe by within 12 hours by night 9 o'clock, you can see your paper being published online. So this is the status which is happening today in India, and India is a hub for this predatory publishers today. So it is a very easy solution for researchers, because researchers are in a desperate that they want to publish their papers or they have to have some kind of increment in their salary, or they are not able to submit this paper because of rejections happening to them. So what happens is they normally consider these predatory journals as an easy way and they submit their papers. So there's a proverb saying, either publish or perish. So I have come to such a way that I don't want to perish myself. I don't want to die by myself. I will instead publish and go. I'll publish in predatory journals. So when we go for publishing itself, the author knows very well that they are not adopting any kind of academical standards or publishing standards, but in spite of that also we publish. This is a scenario today. All the authors, all the researchers, we know very well that that particular journal might be a predatory journal, but knowing the fact it might be a predatory journal, we publish them because we are in a particular stress condition that we need to publish. So we publish the papers in that particular journals. So we are creating the practice for the predatory journals. We become easily a prey for the particular journals. So this is what. See, I have seen one ad. Please don't mistake me for giving some of the advertisements of some companies. People who know about these journals, you can just see it. Transtellar Journal. Transtellar Journal, if you go to their website, you can see it is based in Chennai. Sorry for putting their name, but just for fun I have put it here, or their mistakes what they have done. Transtellar Journal, it is there in Chennai, TJPRC. One of my known friend is running that particular Transtellar Journal. They have a lot of journals under them. See, they have put Vijayadashmi offer. Vijayadashmi also known as Dasara in major Hindu. So they are giving Vijayadashmi offer for the journals to be put, and they are putting UGC approved journal, the name of the journal, and it goes on for pages after pages. So these people, what they do is they are trying to pull out the people by giving lot of offers when they come out with kind of these kind of research articles, and people are falling as a prey for that. 40% discount is given in the total paper being published over there, or sometimes even they say that for Scopus they'll give 50% discount, they will tell. So these things are being to elude the particular authors to come and put their papers in their journals. Another one more example, which normally I used to get from known people, sending emails continuously, like putting it in their name, and they give very clearly here journalletter.com. Now it is not in the Gmail, it is coming under .com or .org, but journal letter is not a journal itself. There is no journal called as journal letter. They have created a particular email called as journalletter.com. Under that they are calling it as articles, and they call it as, and they send it on behalf of International Research Journal of Public and Environmental Health. So they send emails continuously. Again, it becomes difficult for us to see whether journalletter.com is really a platform where we can send the papers. It becomes a headache for the authors to identify it. Another one more example, oatextjournals.com, they are given here. So again, they are not a journal, and they are supporting people wherein they specifically identify a paper here. They identify the paper and that they say that it is very easily to navigate. So your article and again submit it for the next manuscript in our journal. So these people they identify some journal article from another place and they send it to the same author requesting him to send the paper to them so that it will be submitted and published within 2 weeks of submission. They have given very clear trauma and emergency care. They can publish within 2 weeks of submission. So these kind of people they continue and trauma and emergency care it is given oatext.com. There's a difference. Everything is totally different. They given editor.tec at oatext.com. So editor.tec trauma and emergency care tec. But why not it come with the trauma and emergency care.org or com here? It is oatext.com. Someone else is doing it on behalf of this trauma and emergency care. So we need to search for all these things in a letter, whatever is being sent. We should not get more enthusiastic. What happens here is I have seen people they get more enthusiastic with the letters which come from particular journals saying that see my paper has been recognized, my paper has been taken up by an international journal. I'm going to send it to them, and they send it also. And after some time they'll realize okay they have put it in a predatory journal. So these kind of journals they don't provide a peer review system which is said to be a hallmark for traditional scholarly publishing. Now the word comes peer review. Okay, this is one of the controversial words which we can say, which I also see it in our Indian scenario. I'll speak only about the Indian scenario. In India, as of the latest status goes, there are more than 92,000 journals available in India. 92,000 journals are available in India operating successfully without any loss. It's very important. Successfully without any loss to the publisher. And now UGC has given one structure called as UGC CARE Group 1 and Group 2. And those journals which are not coming under CARE Group 1 and Group 2 are all left out, calling themselves as peer reviewed journal. UGC CARE journal also peer reviewed journal only. Now who is doing that review? Who is doing that? Who is called as the peer there? No one is there. You submit the paper for UGC CARE 1 or CARE 2, hardly 24 hours, 48 hours you can publish. You submit to the other journals calling themselves as peer reviewed journal or double blind peer reviewed journal. All these people are there. Submit the paper. Again, you just pay the money. Within 24 to 48 hours, your paper is published. Now, what is the peer review done over there? Was there a reviewer to check your paper? Has the reviewer given any comments on your paper in terms of improving your paper or in terms of making some changes in the paper or saying the paper is not good? No review has come to any research scholar who has submitted the paper. There will not be any emails. Whereas, just make it try. Like I think so Mahalingam sir was telling on the third day that once you want to publish in a good journal, when you are young, if you put the paper, by the time you become old, probably the paper will get published because it go for a lot of reviews, it go for a lot of corrections. It will be happening. It will take 8 months, 9 months, sometimes even 2 years, 3 years to get your paper published. Because recently I published a paper in SCI, Science Citation Index. We submitted the paper hardly in the month of August or September 2019, and it got published only in the month of March 2020. And in that span of time, there were almost 5 to 6, I think so 6 corrections were there. Each and every table they were asking the source, every calculations were asked about how we did the calculation. We had to submit the data sheet, we had to submit the calculated part, we had to submit each and everything. And after doing all this thing, again they stuck the paper saying that please do the editing part, please do according to their standards. So the review goes on, and at last we got the feedback. 3 reviewers. What did the first reviewer tell? He said the paper was good and he pointed out some mistakes. And at last he put a word, yes, this paper can be accepted. Over. Second person, straight away, one single line. The paper is not good enough, and I am not happy with the entire way of going it because they are not able to clarify certain things to my knowledge. Because even after we submitting the what you call the questions or whatever it is that they have asked, we gave the answers. He was not happy. Straight away, he rejected the paper. Third person, now the life of our papers being published is there the third person, because two people have to say it can be published. Third people, he went on writing for one page and he quoted in some places that that is not there, this is not there, this is not there, this is not met out. But at last he came and said the conclusion part which they have given was giving some kind of what you can say a way for another research, and that is much pleasable. So it can be considered provided the publisher is willing. So we were 1 plus 1 plus 1. We didn't get 2 plus 1. And at last publisher went through everything. Then he thought, okay, it can be published. Then the publisher takes the decision of publishing, and we have not paid even a single rupee. We have only waited for 8 months down the line, and we corrected that paper and we have submitted. Now submitting that one paper, at least for another 10 years, I can be very happy, because that paper will be cited everywhere and it cannot be downloaded. Even myself, I cannot download the paper. If I want to download, I have to pay the money and download it. Already we have got one copy, but in spite of that, again, if any one of my known people wants to download also, they have to pay the money. It is available there in Elsevier. They have to pay the money and get the paper published. Download and to read it. So peer review is not at all found in any of the Indian journals today. They call themselves of peer review, but it is not there. Every journal should have a peer review. A review team should be there. A scientific team should be there to review the articles. But none of the journal has this one. I am saying none of the journals. It is zero in India. Particularly UGC journals, 100% zero. Apart from UGC indexed journal, other review journals are there. They have in their list. I do accept that in their website. If you go and check it out, the editorial team will be there. But no review, no reviewing, nothing is available. So we have to be very careful enough in submitting our papers to all these journals. So the point here is why these things are happening. What happens is becoming more. Now I have given a small statistics here. You can see this red line. Overall development of the predatory journals in the last 5 years. I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4. In the last 5 years, the development of the open access journals has gone like anything. This particularly with regard to India is concerned, it has increased like anything. Overall development. Now I have given the things here. The green color line represents 100 or more journal publisher, 10 to 99 journal publisher, 2 to 9 journal publishers. It means the publisher today has more than 100 journals under them also, like Sage Publishers or Taylor and Francis, or you take Walter D. Gruyter. All these people are having more number of journals under them. They have a list of journals which they have published, which they are publishing also. And there are Chota Mota publishers from India also, very small time players. One person is having 10 to 15 journals or 30 journals also. One individual from Rajasthan is having 20 journals under him. And all the 20 are coming under UGC group. So these people are spoiling in the overall development of this active predatory open access journal. Next one is development of active predatory open access article volume. In terms of articles being published, you just see in the last 5 years, see this red line how it has increased. That is the development, the predatory open access article volumes, 4,20,000. It is going on counting. This is the status of 2018 end I am saying. This is not 2019 or 20 also, 2018 end I have taken. See the point where it has gone. The article volume, I am saying about the volume, not about the paper. The volume is increasing and it is going on to a maximum level possible. So again, predatory journals are developing like anything. So, and distribution of predatory journals, general multidisciplinary is increasing, engineering is at the highest stake, biomedicine, social science, maybe physics, astronomy, chemistry are very, very less. They can at least manage. But you see about all this business, economics, social science, engineering particularly, and this general category, normally called as multidisciplinary. We don't know why they are having this multidisciplinary. They take all the subjects put together. You want to put it in Hindi, they'll publish. You want to put in Tamil, they'll publish. You want to put in any other language in India, they'll publish. Or even if you write a paper in French and give it to them, they'll publish and give it to you without even reviewing. Reviewers do not know what is there in the French language, but they'll publish for you. You write a Tamil paper and send it to them, they'll publish. They'll not review it. They'll not know. You have an office in Noida or Gurgaon, journals are there, more available there. Luckily in Tamil Nadu, the journal publishers are very, very less. Predatory journal publishers in Tamil Nadu are very less, but marketing people are available here in Tamil Nadu. But when you take all the publishers, they are down the line from Noida, Gurgaon, Rajasthan, all these places, and they don't know what is Tamil or Kannada or Telugu or Malayalam, and I have sent papers to them. I do accept. I have sent papers to them because people have come and given to me. We are sending the papers. It is my business, so I have to send the papers for publishing. And I send it, and they are published without even any reviewing, without any kind of saying that the paper has been reviewed, no email from them, no contact. I don't have any contact number of the publisher. You check out any website of the journals, you can't find any contact number. Only email contact is permissible, and that to Gmail. Once we send a mail, we have to wait for 4 days, 5 days to get a reply from them. They will not reply immediately also because they are getting lot number of emails, so they will not be able to reply immediately also. So we have to be patient, like as if we have published a paper in SCI or Scopus or very big Scopus journals or Elsevier. We have to wait with these people also to see whether the paper is published or whether it is going to get published or not. So this is the distribution with regard to the subject part is concerned. And number of articles. Now I am coming to the articles. See the growth. The growth is going on. This orange line. Or a single journal publisher only. The single journal publishers are minting the money. People who are having more number of journals like Sage publishers, or there are many kind of publishers in India. They are having more than 100 plus journals with them. Their line is very at the bottom of the curve. They don't have that much of predatory journals. But single journal publishers are at the highest stake. I will be having only one journal under me and I will be publishing it. It will be a predatory journal only, and it goes on getting the articles continuously, and researchers are going behind them without any doubt. Now, I'll come to this particular point called as scatter plot of number versus article processing fee. Now another headache is the article processing fee or article processing charges, APC or APF, whatever. They give different kind of names for this one. We use the word called as outlier. I am using the word called, we are using the word, it's a statistical. See, all these things are PPTs are taken out from some people who have already published it. It is not my work that I have taken it and I have put it here. It's already published. It's there available in Google also. So there are outlier. What is an outlier? Outlier is nothing but there will be a mean value, mean or a standard deviation value will be there with among all the journals. Now there are journals which go beyond the mean value, unimaginably beyond the mean value. That is, say for example, if your article processing fee has to be say 5,000 rupees. For a good journal, you can keep it as 5,000 rupees. Or if it is an international, a truly international journal, if they want to pay for the, what you can say, reviewers, normally they have to get the money from the people who are going to read the journal. But what the people do, or what the journal people do, they get the money from the authors who are publishing. Now, okay, there should be some kind of journal fee fixed for the particular article to get published. But what some journals do is, they go beyond. See this blue curves here, whatever blue curves you find it here, blue dots you find it here, this is the mean area. Somewhere the mean is going to be here. The mean value is going to come over here. The cost of article processing fee is somewhere going to come here. But if you see the number as 1, 2, 3 or 4 if you take, you see where it has gone. And for particularly with this, these are called as outlier. Outlier refers to they have gone beyond the mean value in terms of their fee collection. Now, if you take this particular fourth one, their article processing fee somewhere falls around 1,500, and the number of papers published is also huge. You just check this particular calculation. You go like this way and come in this way. You just check it out to the fourth one, 1,500, and they have given here as 1,000, somewhere around 1,480 articles they have published. So one is 1,000 and they have published only less number of paper. Two, they have gone to this level and they come down. But fourth one, particularly they are called as the journal called as remote sensing. This is a remote sensing journal. I'll show in the next slide to you. They have they are charging in Swiss currency, 1,800 Swiss currency for the article processing charges. So convert into Malaysian dollar or convert into US dollar, it is 1,800 US dollar. So almost somewhere around, I think so, 1,40,000 rupees for publishing a paper in this journal. And remote sensing is there in most of the recognized things, like you can say, what you can say, it's in the MDPI, Institutional Open Access Program, IOAP, it is there available in JSTR, it is available in Scopus, it is available everywhere. One of the best journals available. But this best journal also is eating us in terms of telling that the processing fee is 1,800 US dollar. So can any real researcher, a genuine researcher, can they publish the paper? It becomes highly difficult. But in spite of this also, there are people who are publishing in it. They pay that money. I have seen in Coimbatore, people have paid, particularly from engineering colleges, not from the social science background or from the commerce or management side, but from engineering background. I have seen many of the professors have paid around 1,40,000, 1,50,000 rupees to journals to publish their paper, because one paper they publish, they go to some other level in terms of their designation in their college. So we have to be very clear enough whether we require these kind of things to be done. We can call this one also as predatory, because it is not such a thing that you have to pay this much amount for paying to an article for being getting published. So whether predatory is real or not real, that is the most important thing which you have to understand, whether it is existing or not existing. So that is the most important thing. And there is one person called as Jeffrey Biel. He was a librarian at Aurora Library, and he was a professor at Colorado, Denver. He compiled most of the scholarly journals, and he called it as predatory scholarly open access journal, and he developed it, and he started authenticating it by putting on the website from the year 2011 to 2017. And he did not list the specific criteria, and he also mistakenly blacklisted some of the legitimate journal and publisher, and that's why from 2017 onwards this website was totally stopped. But actually he was the person who initiated this predatory concept. He initiated the concept to the entire world, saying that researchers, be very careful that there are predatory people available today to eat you, to swallow you. And unfortunately, because of high pressure from big publishers, he has to take down his website. It has been totally stopped now. So now, how to recognize these kind of journals or what it is? Please go through these are points. Some 5 points I have given here. Whether it is coming under the Committee of Publication Ethics, COPE, please check it out. Please see whether it is coming under Open Access Scholarly Publisher Association. OASPA is there. You can go to their website. You can check out whether these journals are available to you or not. INASP Journal online platform is there, particularly for the journals published in Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Central America and Mongolia. Or for African journals, AJOL is there. Most of the predatory journals are coming from the two places called as Africa and Nigeria. They sit there and they operate all these particular predatory journals, having their link spread throughout the world. And we have the directory of open access journals, DOAJ list is there. Then journal citation report, JCR list is also available in the website. Kindly check all these things and then you decide whether it is the right thing to publish in that particular journal or not. So listing in that here also in DOAJ and JCR, they are telling that they are being listed. But please again check it out in the website. It is given DOAJ and they are member of this particular DOAJ and JCR. But please check with the journal whether it is predatory or really existing. And many of you would have heard about this word Index Copernicus. Very, very familiar with our Indian people, Indian researchers, Indian professors, that Index Copernicus, it is being, what you can say, listed in Index Copernicus. But Index Copernicus also is a predatory. They have a high proportion of predatory journals. That is one particular thing. Nicholas Copernicus was the person who created it from Poland. But today, Index Copernicus, to be very clear, they have the highest proportion of predatory journals. Almost roughly around 70% to 80% of their journals, whatever it is coming under them, whatever is having their name as Index Copernicus, are all coming under suspicious evaluation methodology. Be very clear that we have to avoid these kinds of things. So how to, what you can say, find out whether it is a potential predatory journal? There are 13 things which we have given here. Suppose they'll say it does not include non-commerce subject, but they'll be doing all the commerce subject. Website will have 100% go through the website, they'll be having spelling and grammatical errors. Because these people want to only mint money, they'll make spelling mistake, they'll make grammar mistakes. And the images put in the particular website will be, what you can say, the pixels will be distorted or it will be fuzzy and they'll not look as if it is authorized. Even the Scopus logo will be totally distorted. The clarity of that logo will not be there. The clarity of each and everything will not be available to you, because when a journal is attached to Scopus, the Scopus logo with the highest definition, high definition logo will be put over there. But these people don't use all those things and they don't get that particular high definition images. Just in want of sake, in hurry-burry, they will put some logos. Home page of any good journal will not target the author. It will always target the reader. But what happens here is, the journals, predatory journals, will target the author to put their paper. So be clear with this. And if there is any website which is putting the Index Copernicus value, saying some value or some kind of things being put over there, please kindly cross-verify before putting in these journals. Description of manuscripting handling. Manuscript handling, none of them will be having it there. You can check it out there. Please check whether they're having any kind of description, whether they're going to follow that particular process. Then please publish a paper there. And normally, the 7th point is the most important point. Manuscripts, the manuscript should not be submitted via email. Please be very clear. Don't submit your papers through email. If you go to an SCI or SSCI or Taylor and Francis or whatever journals are there, you have to enter each and everything in their website. The columns will be given, the boxes will be given, wherein you have to enter through their web portal only. You have to have a login. You'll be having a username and password, and then you will be submitting each and everything, the abstract separately, the introduction part separately, the table separately. Everything has to be separately submitted in their web portal itself. And your entire paper also should be attached in that without your name. Your name should not be there in the journal. Without the name you have to submit, because it goes for the review. Reviewer should not know the name of the author. So this, some of the steps has to be followed when you are going to submit your manuscript. And 8th point, every journal is telling rapid publication. If they say rapid publication, sorry, it cannot be published. Normally in Scopus, really a good Scopus journal is taking, nowadays it's taking more than 75 days to publish. 75 days they are taking it, leaving away Sundays. It is very difficult for us to convince the customer. They'll come and give, saying, sir, I want to publish in the Scopus journal. Can you do it and give? I'll tell, sir, it takes almost 75 days. And they will tell, no sir, another person I know, known person is there. They are saying they'll publish in 30 days, even 15 days also. I don't know how it is possible, but normally Scopus, it takes 75 working days for publishing. And there is no retraction policy will be there with good journals. Information content will be digitally preserved will be absent. You will not be having a digitally preserved thing or DOI number. There is a digital object identifier will not be available with them, and they will not give a proper DOI number. Please check all these things. The 11th one is either the article processing publishing charge will be very, very low. Again, I'll come to this point. Very low article processing charge is also a fake journal. The most highest publication charge is also not good. I'm not saying it is fake, not good. Like what we saw about remote sensing. Remote sensing charges are too high, which it is not good enough. Similarly, having a very less processing charges also is not a good journal to be done. But above saying all these things, be very clear. Please do not pay any processing or publication charge for submitting your paper. Try to do it free of cost with your knowledge input into that particular paper. And journals, they claim to have open access. They retain the copyright of the what you call published research. Your research copyright goes with them, but actually the research copyright should be with you. If you open any of the good journals, like Mahalingam sir has published many papers in Taylor and Francis, I have published in SCI, we go through it. The copyright is with us, not with the publisher. Publisher is supporting us in terms of publishing. So please don't give the copyrights to the journal people when you're submitting to a journals. And the contact email ID, as I said earlier, it is non-professional and non-journal affiliated. Like it will be from a Gmail account or a Yahoo account, or it's some, and many times it is from Gmail only, because Gmail is the most usable thing. So they are using it from gmail.com. I'll very clearly specify this 13th point probably because what happens is in 13th point I have discussed this particular point with some of the people. Why are you, because I met one of the person who is running a predatory journal. I had an option to meet him. So I asked him, boss, why are you using Gmail ID when you have created a website? You have made a fake website, xyz.com is there. Now, why not you send an email from that saying that editor at xyz.com? Why are you sending it from Gmail? Now, he gave an answer saying that if he is sending an email from xyz.com, the mails which goes to the authors or to the corresponding people, to the researchers, it will automatically go to the spam box, or it will automatically go to the promotional column or the social column. It will not go to their inbox. So marketing becomes difficult for them. And when it is being used with the .com, the company name, immediately it gets recognized and it goes to the Google portal, and the original publisher who is sitting somewhere else will come to know that someone is hijacked this particular journal and they are doing it here. So they, to avoid all these things, they are using Gmail. So be very clear, see whether the journal email ID is coming from their own Gmail ID, otherwise it is a fake journal. Because recently I have tried out with many of the journals by sending it to the editor at putting the journal name.com or whatever it is there. It goes, the mail will not bounce back to me, but I'll get a reply from Gmail. Then I again wrote to them, why are you replying from Gmail? I have the mail accounts with me. I have written them very clearly saying that, please editor, why are you sending it from your Gmail account? Can you please send it from your official mail ID which is mentioned? That's all. That person will not reply me. Finished. Stop. Once you put that question, the person will not reply to us. So we have to understand, okay, they are doing some kind of malpractice there. So predatory journals provide young researchers with all the things, facilities, everything, immediate publication, all these things are being given, but we have to be very, very clear in terms of what are we going to publish, how are we going to publish, and what is the quality criteria. There are many audience listening to the talk over here by Zoom as well as through YouTube. There's a good news to all of you that two of the international journal groups, one is Taylor and Francis and another one is Walter D. Kutyre. Two international journal groups are there, and they have a very long history in terms of publication. Taylor and Francis is going to come out with an Indian branch at Mumbai, probably from this coming November onwards. Until now, they don't have a what you can call a publishing center in India, and they had it in China. Now, due to this COVID-19 and other things, now this particular Taylor and Francis, they are totally going to focus on Indian researchers. And the most important part in Taylor and Francis is it is going to be totally free, but the quality of the journal should be to the highest possible extent, which you have to create it and then you have to submit it to them. So, separate platform for the Indian people is going to be created from Taylor and Francis. That is one of the most important thing. And they have all varieties of journals, right? From science to engineering to medicine or social science or commerce. You name anything, they have all the availability with them, and it's going to come out from November onwards in association with Bennett and Coleman. That is the Times of India group. So they have made the agreement, and from November they are going to start exclusive Indian office at Mumbai, and they are going to do it. Similarly, we have Walter D. Gutter. Walter D. Gutter is almost, I think so, 130 years old publishing house, and they have the best, what you can say, research journals available with them. There are more than, I think so, 95 to 100 journals are there with them, which is exclusively there for engineering separately. Separate. Engineering is separate, commerce is separate, social science is separate, everything is separate, and they are going to establish their office in India from next month onwards. But Walter Gutter is open access. Taylor and Francis is closed access. Walter D. Gutter is an open access journal, and they charge. It's not they charge the money. It is known fact for all this 135 years, almost a decade they charge for their publication, because their reviewers are of high repute and they have to pay to the reviewers, so they charge it from the people. But now what they are going to do for India is the journal cost is in dollars, which is something huge, like say 45,000. If it is converted in Indian rupee, it is 45,000 or 50,000 rupees. Considering the economical position of India and the knowledge source, they are giving importance to the knowledge source of the Indian researchers. They are coming out with a reduced price. Almost what I heard is that it is going to come somewhere around 10,000 to 12,000 rupees to get published in Walter D. Gutter. This is what the information which I got from some of my known sources, that they are going to establish totally from next month onwards. From August 15th they are going to launch. I think so it's going to be launched by our MHRD minister is going to launch that particular Walter D. Gutter's activities in India. And it is there that from IIM Ahmedabad and IIT Guwahati, the panel of people are going to be there with Walter D. Gutter to establish themselves in India, particularly to the low-cost researchers who have only little bit of money to publish in a very standardized journal can do it. So it is going to be a good thing for the researchers, but you cannot give any kind of plagiarized report there. We cannot give any kind of copy-paste work there. They will not do any kind of publishing. Money is not their matter. Their quality is very important, but they want to recognize the Indian researchers who are not able to publish. So be very clear. These kind of people are not predatory. They are very, very clear in their terms. They are very, very clear in terms of what they are doing. They are very clear in terms of all the issues pertaining to publication. So go for those kind of bodies, find out those kind of journals, and then publish it there. Scrutinize all these things, then you go for it. So, as I said earlier, why predatory journals continue to flourish? Because he did not publish, so he perished. So, with this, I am trying to control or finishing my topic on this particular aspect of predatory journal. Ma'am, darling ma'am.
Sir, shall we have a break now?
Yes, ma'am. We'll have a break, and I'll request all the participants, those who are having any doubts or anything, make a note of all your doubts and come live and ask the questions to us. Don't type the questions there, except the YouTube people. You type the questions there. Other people who are available in this Zoom app, we request you to switch on your audio, video also, so that we can see your face in the last day at least. Because for the last 4 days, we are seeing our face only. We have not seen any of the other participant face. Okay, I have seen only four faces. One is Bini ma'am, Darling Selvi ma'am, Mahalingam, and my face. Only these four faces we are seeing for the last 4 days. So I request all the other participants to switch on your video so that at least we can see your faces today. Okay. Have a break for 10 minutes and we'll resume back again.
Shall I talk to Vedran?
Yes, sir.
Sir, in case things are very yes, things are very I don't know.
So let's have a break. And then move to Hadri.
1 minute. In case,
Sir.
in case the questions from the audience or the viewers are very less,
In case of any questions arising there, what we can do is, sir, we will ask Mahalingam sir to answer all the questions. There will be some criticism, sir. Mahalingam sir, with regard to Scopus or anything comes, you can answer it, sir. In terms of UGC journal comes, I will speak, sir.
or in case the questions are very less in number, we can have a discussion. I myself can ask some questions and you can answer.
Sure, sir. Okay, done, sir. Done, sir. We will have an interactive session of having the, what you guys said, we will have it done by asking questions to both of us and we will discuss it. So that they will listen, because normally they don't ask any question. Ask
Yes,
the board.
on behalf of viewers, on behalf of research scholars, researchers, I may ask some questions as if I don't know the answer. So we can have discussion among us.
Sure, sir. I will answer the questions to you, sir. Whatever I know, I will answer, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. A 10 minutes break and we'll resume back again. Ma'am, can we start, ma'am?
Okay, sir. We can start.
Over to the participants, and if you have any questions, please ask us.
Before, if they do not have any questions, as of now, we can ask it later. Shall we discuss something? Shall we discuss? Yes.
Sir,
Let
yes,
them
sure,
ask.
sir. No, sure, sure. Let them ask questions, but we'll start our discussion.
Nobody is coming forward. Okay, let us wait for 5 more minutes. Nobody comes forward, then we can discuss. That discussion will also be useful for the participants. You are invited to ask questions.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Shantanu Kumar Das, sir.
Please tell me, Shantanu, sir.
Sir, actually, I want to know, sir, what is the difference between Elsevier journal and the Scopus, sir? Scopus is a part of Elsevier. Or
The Elsevier is a publisher. Scopus is providing
Publisher.
Elsevier is a publisher. Scopus is
Right.
Scopus is part of Elsevier, which provides the database of so many, nearly 12,000 publishers and 36,000 journal titles, of which some 30,000 are peer reviewed. So it is again an indexing service one, indexing and database service one. You have PubMed, everything. You have Thomson and Reuters, right? Now Clarity One. Earlier it was ISI. Everything is the same. Now they have changed the name. Scopus is kind of database service, which provides database service, and Web of Science gives access to many kinds of such database providing service providers.
Achha, so which one is good, sir? Whether science of, Web of Science publication is good, or Scopus is good? So how can we justify whether it's a good journal or not?
Yes. I tell you, you have a publisher, and that publisher publishes many journal titles. So those titles will be available in all the citation indices. Maybe in Web of Science, it may be in Scopus, it may be in PubMed. So that does not matter. You have to see only whether it is from a reputed publisher, and its indexing is good in many number of these databases. Then that's fine. So don't think that it's only in Web of Science or it's only in Scopus. Don't think like that. First of all, we need not worry about this indexing database service providers, because we should know the quality of the journal. Just go and read some sample articles and see the history of the journal. When was it started? 1960, 1970, like that you have to see. So people are confusing between among Web of Science. Actually, Web of Science was earlier Web of Knowledge. Now it has been converted to Web of Science. And Institute for Scientific Information, ISI, now that is converted into Scopus. And Clarity Analysis was earlier Thomson and Reuters. It's a part of it. So again a confusion, but they don't do this intentionally. But our institutions where we are working, they are making these confusions without knowing what they are making these confusions. Whether it is under Web of Science, you have published a paper, whether it is under Web of Science, whether Scopus, whether PubMed, these are just database providers. That's all. There is no direct connection between the quality and this index. If it is indexed in these databases, that's fine. Otherwise, also it may be fine. We do not know. But there are many predatory journals even in Elsevier.
Even in Elsevier, sir, Shantanu sir, even in Elsevier, there are many predatory journals are available. There are many number of predatory journals. Like what Mahalingam sir has said, be very clear to know about the publisher more. Whether they are in this field for how many years. Check out the archives.
To verify the history, no? History of the particular journal.
Yes, it is already available. It is available in their web portals. You can check it out. Check that particular credibility of the publisher. Okay. Say for example, if you go to Scopus and if you go to Quora somewhere and if you just go and type some questions, Scopus people will give you an answer saying that our limited access only to give the score. They give only the score. Scopus or Web of Science only gives the score or the citation report or some kind of report or a value is given for the journal publisher. That's all. They don't tell about the credibility of the journal. The credibility of the journal depends upon the publisher as a whole. So we have to think like what I said, like Taylor and Francis. It is one of the best publishers. And similarly, Walter D. Gruyter is one of the big publishers. There are many good publishers available today. There are plenty of good publishers are there. So we need to search only for the publisher name. Then you go and publish it there. Don't depend upon the indexing platforms. Indexing platforms, there are many number of indexing platforms. Even Copernicus is also is a platform. They give only indexing value. They give only the report. They give only a percentage, a score, a percentile score is given. So don't rely on that percentile score. Number one. Number two, many journals they give some kind of citation, what you call impact factor. I have seen many people coming to me asking, sir, I want to publish my paper in a high impact factor. See, normally high impact factor will not come. Even Harvard Business Review has only 1.35. You can check in Harvard Business Review, 1.35 only. Such a huge journal, which is like a biggest thing for all the management graduates. That journal has tells only 1.35. But if you see our Indian journals, they are having 7.6. 8.2.
Sir, 7.
See, it is highly impossible. It is out of the box actually. They are trying to, what you can say, market their journal to us. That's it. So don't think about the impact factor. Don't think about the indexing values given there. Always think about the publisher, the name of the publisher. Are they really fit enough? Are they having a credibility?
Sir. How the impact factor is increased I would just say how the impact factor is increased time to time, sir? Impact factor means citations are more.
The impact factor depends upon a formula. Actually, the number of people, how many people are, sir, Mahalingam sir, tell me, sir.
So if a journal is started say in 2000,
Sir.
now think that say it started in 2017. Then 2017 and 18, what is the number of papers published by that particular journal?
Right.
By that particular journal.
Sir.
And within those years, what number of citations they have got?
Right. Sir.
Those papers should be cited in other journals. So that fraction, so number of papers published in 2 years divided by number of citations they have got, that will be the impact factor. But you need not worry about the impact factor because impact factor sometimes may be misleading. I'll tell you how. See,
If more citations are there, then more impact factor is more, and also a standard journal, sir.
Yes.
No.
Citation is the measuring rod.
No.
Yes, there you have to wait for a minute. See, if Dr. Sumendra is running a journal, okay, those articles I read, my friends read, many business people read. They just download and they do not write paper, but they use it for their business. It's a very good article, they use it for his business, or if it is a science journal, they are going to use it for their development of R&D in their industry or to develop a product. They may not write paper and give citation, but the citation index will not increase, but it has credibility, it has value, it has real value. So depending on this impact factor, you cannot decide whether it is a very good channel or not. That's what he told. Harvard Business School, nobody, the citations might have been less, but people who have benefited from that might have just downloaded, but they may not have given citation, they may not have written papers. So in that way, do not worry much about the impact factor, and you see whether the impact factor has been calculated originally. There you have to check. Okay.
Shantanu sir, I would like to add something to what Dr. Mahalingam sir has said. He has pointed very clearly. I'll just see the same example of Harvard Business Review and other journals of like what you are trying to tell. See, just because it is an open access journal, okay, every one of us, we download that particular full paper and then we give the citation there, okay. Whereas Harvard Business Review or Francis or Taylor or other some of the Elsevier journals which are closed access journal, I can only read the abstract. I cannot go and read. If you want to go and read Mahalingam sir's paper in Taylor and Francis, only abstract will be there. If you want to read my paper, we will close the screen. Why should I make the payment? So we will close the screen. So obviously you are not going to cite my paper. Okay. Just because you are not citing my paper, my impact factor is not increasing. The journal impact factor is not increasing. So just because the impact factor is not increasing, you cannot tell that journal is worst. Got the point?
Sir. Right.
Yes.
So if more existing is there, then impact factor automatically increases.
Yes, it is available in the market. You are downloading it. So everyone is using it, and they are telling that impact factor is more. So don't rely on the impact factor. Having a very big impact factor is not a good thing or a good sign for a journal is concerned.
Right. Thank you. Sir, hello. Sir, one small question, sir. Sir, Journal of Commerce, Indian Journal of Commerce is right now is included in the UGC care of, sir.
Sir, we are not getting your question. Indian Journal
Indian
of
Journal of Commerce is
okay.
Commerce, sir. Or the Commerce Association, Indian Commerce Association Journal is right now is included in UGC care or not, sir? Right now.
It's from the Indian Journal of Commerce from ICA India, right?
Right, sir.
From the ICAindia.info. From them.
Sir.
I think so. It is not there in UGC, sir. As of the website goes, it is not available in
Sir.
the UGC because the UGC logo is not there. Today,
sir,
what
sir,
happens is, sir, let me be a little bit practical. Don't mistake me. If anyone is there who is a die-hard fan of UGC, please forgive me for telling all these
Sir.
things. Okay, because though we speak on all these things, UGC is our major governing body, so we have to give some kind of respect to UGC. Because our bread and butter is totally depending on UGC. So we cannot directly give any comments to the UGC, but as a citizen or as an individual, there are a lot of lagunas happening in UGC publication. Okay, previously in the
Last
year
4 to 5 years is very confusing, sir.
not last 4 to 5 sir, last 3 days also a lot of confusion is going on. Probably this coming Sunday there are
Right,
four.
sir.
Coming Sunday, 436 journals are going to be removed, and again 822 journals are going to be added. Okay, so Monday we will come to know what is the new list again. 2018 they were calling it as UGC refereed journals, and they gave a big list, and we were all publishing paper there. Suddenly in 2019 they came out with a separate called as CARE, Consortium for Academic and all these things. They came out with CARE. We are calling it as Group A, B, C, D. I don't know on what basis they have classified A, B, C, D, but they came with A, B, C, D.
Right.
So okay, everyone were publishing in A, B, and all A, B, C, D were equal only. To be very frank, Group D was much better than Group A in terms of their quality. But many people who come and ask me to publish, they're saying, sir, I want only in UGC Group A, because in alphabet A comes first. So they wanted A. Okay, we put the papers. Suddenly we do not know what happened to UGC, what they decided. A and ABCD was scratched totally, and they came out with Group 1 and Group 2. Okay, now again Group 1, please go to the UGC website today itself and check it out. You go to Group 1, you have to have a login ID and password. Go to the Group 1, you will find the list of journals there. Okay, many journals are available in Group 1, which we can directly see and we can understand that particular journals. Okay, and in that Group 1 itself, almost 30 to 40% of the journals are very clearly mentioned print only journals. Okay, it is only print only. That is, they have got ISSN number only for printing. But all the journals are having online version also. Okay, all the journals are having online version also. Now, why UGC has not taken any steps? $1 million question. Okay, first thing. And many of our biggest question is, what is Group 2? They say very clearly in 3 simple words. All the journals which are coming under So Scopus source list, Web of Science source list, and Arts and Humanities source list. Now what is that source list? Even UGC does not know. That is why they are given that name. If UGC knows that list, they should have given the list. They have not given the list. They have only specified very clearly Arts and Science, Humanities, Citation Index source list, Scopus source list. Now Scopus source list means whether the journal available in the Scopus or not available in the Scopus. Now if it is available in the Scopus, why should the journal be called as group 2? It should be group 1.
Group 2, right.
Because if it is Scopus journal, if it is indexed in Scopus, it is of very high value. Then obviously the journal should be in group 1. So it is a confusing thing scenario in UGC that publication department is concerned. So now again by the Sunday they have already stopped the publishing of papers for last 1 week. All the journals have stopped the publishing because UGC has given clear instruction. At least this time they have given clear instruction. I do remember we had a very bitter experience. Darling Selvi madam knows it very well. We had a very big bitter experience that we were supposed to publish some around 40 journal articles in the month of March 31st. I was supposed to send some articles, 40 articles for a conference. We have spoken with the journal and we were ready to publish. On that particular March 31st, due to some of the personal work, I was not able to send an email to the publisher, and the transfer of money, I didn't do it. I think so it's a God's grace. On April 2nd, April 1st, I didn't do any work. April 2nd, what happened is, because April 1st was like a April full day, so I thought I will not do the work. So on April 2nd, I went to send an email to that particular publisher. I'll tell the name of the journal also. It is a Parishod journal. Parishod journal was there. I thought of publishing the 40 articles there. Simply I just opened Parishod, our UGC website, to check out their email ID.
Sir. Parishod.
It is removed. It was removed from April 1st onwards. Okay, think about if I would have sent the papers on 31st March and paid the money, all the papers and the money would have gone for a ride. Okay.
Right.
All the people, all the researchers will come behind me saying that you have put a paper in a journal which is not recognized by UGC. Luckily, one day I escaped. So I escaped with 40 people. Then what happened? April 2nd, new journal came. Now that for the new journal, we have to again contact them telling that, sir, we have this number of papers, please publish, please publish. So then they have to give an answer saying that, okay, we'll consider. So it happens day-to-day affair. It's like a affair where we have to daily check out and we have to find out whether it is available or not, whether it is there, because UGC does not give any guidelines. But this time, I don't know how UGC has got a third eye. They have come out with an option saying that all the journal people stop publishing for 1 week. So last 1 week, the journals are not publishing any articles because this Sunday, coming Sunday on 20th or 19th, they are going to come out with a new list. So this is how our Indian publishing scenario is going on.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, my research is not so strong enough, sir. If at times it will come, sir, I will definitely knock at your door. Don't abhor me, sir. At time to time, I just contacted.
You're always welcome, sir. You have my mail ID and my contact number. You can always ask me.
Sir, we have contact number and mail ID is there, sir.
Yes, you can always contact us, and
definitely,
we'll be able to support you in terms of academical part is concerned.
Sir,
Good morning. Sir, good morning.
Good morning. May I know
Sir,
your good
this
name,
is
please?
Kennedy, sir.
Please, Kennedy,
This
sir.
is Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question regarding this publication fee. AGC also clearly intimated that no journals which are collecting money for publications. As per the AGC, normally they don't collect any money for the publication. But most of the journals, they are collecting money for publication. So how is it according to the instruction of the AGC, or they just collect? Some of the journals, they collect the processing fee or something in the name of publications. So,
Sir, this question has to... No, see, actually, I'll tell you very frankly, this question is supposed to be asked to the chairman of University Grants Commission. I am not the right person to answer because, see, the fact is, even publishing is a business. I will come to the point called as business here. Okay. Everyone has to do a business here. Everyone has to survive here. Okay, so UGC has to survive by telling that they have published more number of papers. Our NIRF ranking, National Institute Research by NIRF ranking or NAC or whatever you say with regard to the colleges or the institutes, everyone has to survive, sir. Okay, so being this case, what happens? UGC is tight-lipped. That is, they are closing their lips. They have only given the name of the journal. Now the journal people, the publisher, they are, to my knowledge, sir, this is purely my perception. Okay, don't take it as a perception of UGC. It is like a cyclic process. For 6 months, you journals, you earn the money. Next 6 months, I will throw you out. I'll put another new journal. You earn the money. So every one of us will survive. No one will die. See, the Indian publishing industry should not die. So only the people who are doing the research are dying here. The publishers who are running the journals are all happy. Okay, this is my perception, because what I have seen as a record as statistics is 2018 whatever journals were there, super journals were there, really fantastic journals. They did a lot of good work actually. Those journals were all removed suddenly. Almost 1,800 journals were removed, and a new list came, and the new list did not even have a website. Suddenly they created a website, and no archives also for the people. They don't have an archive also. You can go and check many of the journals which is there in UGC Group 1. Archives, if you take, only from 2019 they'll be having the papers. That is, they have only recently come out with the archive. So what happened here is, they have made a decision, I think so, that okay, you 800 journals for 6 months, you do whatever business you want, you survive, because I don't want to spoil your business. It's like a cluster management. In management we call it as cluster management. One cluster you take care for the 6 months, then you all keep quiet for another 6 months, another group will come, next another 6 months another group is coming. So every time they are changing it without having any particular regulation. Now coming on to your question of the money part is concerned, publication fee. Sir, I think so UGC has not given any statement saying that there is no publication fee. Okay, UGC has only said very clearly that we have given a list of publishers where you can publish the paper. That's all. They have not said that you are not supposed to charge.
Actually, I have seen in the circular whether I have taken from the ADCA.
No, sir. What circular has come is that
not recently. I'm telling this is not recent.
I'm saying the year 2019. I'm saying, sir, 2019 only a circular came. It stated very clearly that when you want an increment or anything, please don't make your articles in a paid journals. Don't make it in a paid journals. If you want more increment or upliftment in your career, try to publish your papers in a non-paid journal. That's what the instruction was. It's not for the UGC journals. That is, I can say SCI, Science Citation Index. SSCI is there, Social Science Citation Index. AHCI is there, Arts and Humanities Citation Index. These journals, they don't get even a single rupee. They are coming under Elsevier. They are coming under Taylor and Francis. They are coming under Walter D. Crutcher. So these people, they don't get money from you, but they will lead your time. They will take 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years to publish your paper. And believe it or not, putting a paper in Elsevier without any payment is like finishing one thesis, sir. Similar to completing one thesis.
SCIE, sir. SCIE means expanded.
Expanded list. That is a junior. The senior is SCI, junior is SCIE. That's all, sir. They are keeping the name.
It's going to be a problem, sir.
No, sir. Junior is developing and coming to senior, so they have kept their list there. Good journals, but they are developing and coming. They are growing, so they are good journals. It is not. It's an extended version of SCI.
It's not, sir. We are not charging anything to publish that particular journal, sir. Or it is.
Sir, all the journals are not charging, sir. Some journals are not charging. Many journals, as I said, no, Walter D. Crutcher. It is one of the best publisher available in today's market. Taylor and Francis, very good publisher. Under that, there are some journals which you have to pay. There are some journals which you need not pay, because even Taylor and Francis is doing a business, sir. Please understand the point very clearly here. Everyone, see, why should a publisher do free of cost for everyone, sir? And how will they survive? From where will they get where will the family members or their employees get the money? So some journals will be classified as non-paid journals. Some journals will automatically be classed as paid journals. So somewhere down the line we have to make the payment. So, but that's what I said. Check out the credibility of the publisher. Then you go about with publishing it. Henry sir, coming on to your question,
Yeah, yeah.
UGC journals are getting the money, sir.
Okay.
And there are people. I'll again give a small hint here. And there are people from Tamil Nadu. I'll give an example. There are many people who are charging. Suppose in the website it is given 2,000 rupees. I think
Yeah.
so they are charging 2,500 rupees also, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 2,500. They even go up to charging of 3,000 rupees. But the website
Yes.
without being given 2,000 rupees only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something wrong which they are doing it. The intermediaries are
Yeah.
doing a wrong mistake here. So, frankly telling, I do publish for many people. Every month I do go for publishing of more than 100 articles every month. But I don't charge even a single rupee extra than what is given in the website. I'm very clear in that.
Okay.
I'm only supporting the journal people or researchers in terms of only collecting the exact fees. No extra 1 rupee more than what is given in the website. Because that is what we can call the some kind of ethics which I can follow it from my side. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please
Yeah,
tell me.
good morning. This is Dr. Ajay Jain from SRM Modinagar, Ghaziabad campus.
Yeah, please tell me, sir.
Yeah. Sir, actually, some few months back, I published a paper in Scopus Journal, but they did not provide a DOI. And I asked number of times for DOI, but they could not provide. Even though this paper has been included in Scopus database.
Which journal? Can I know the journal name, sir?
JARDCS.
Jacquards.
JARDCS.
Yes, sir, Jacquards. Okay. Jacquards,
Yeah.
sir. Actually, they are not tied up. No, sir. All the journals, sir. All the journals don't have DOI affiliation, sir. Okay. Journal has to
Okay.
get the permission from DOI by paying an amount, sir. Actually, it is not that it's a free of cost.
Okay.
I'm making it very clear. The journal has to pay the
Okay.
money. They have to pay the money for
Okay.
DOI. That is a digital object identifier. They have to make the payment, and then they have to get the number.
Okay.
Number one, sir. Number two,
Mhm.
Jacquards. Have you gone through the website, sir, of Jacquards?
Yeah, I have gone through.
Is it the original Jacquards or the hijacked version of the website, sir?
Hijacked that I don't
Yes, sir.
know, sir.
No, there are two websites, sir. There are two websites. Okay.
Okay.
To be very frank, there are
Okay.
two websites available, sir. One is the
Okay.
original Jacquards is there. Another one is a
Okay.
hijacked version of Jacquards.
Okay, sir. So, I will
So
verify
that
it again.
Jacquards doesn't have the DOIS, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, so I will try to visit these websites once again and I will try to find out the original Jacquards. Sir? Hello?
Because see, I can give a lot of examples to you. There are many journals today. There is hello.
Yes,
There
sir.
are many journals available today which are having the original website somewhere else, and they are having their hijacked version in India.
Okay, sir.
The problem
that-
happens.
That I will try to verify, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's why they could not provide a UI.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I asked number of times.
They are not able to provide, and whatever email ID you have got, is it from the website of Jacquards or from the Gmail or something? You just check it out. Or
Okay,
might be
that
you
is
would have
it.
given it to any third party person who would have helped you to publish it and give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
In
No,
that case,
no, directly before. Yeah,
Directly
directly
was
contact to Jagatic. Yeah.
that's what, sir. And did they charge you any
Okay,
money
sir.
for that, sir, for the publication?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A nominal amount they have charged.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, one more journal is here, Journal of Critical Review.
JCR.
What is your view?
JCR.
Yeah, JCR. What is your view regarding that?
Sir, again, sir, what I thought is I went through the Google and I searched about this Journal of Critical Reviews. Journal of Psychosocial Rehabilitation, all these journals have come.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
see
yeah.
Journal of
Yes, sir,
Psychosocial Rehabilitation, their website
sir.
states that it is from Hampstead Psychological Associates UK. Am I right? I think you would have gone through it.
Yes.
But Hampstead Psychological Associates, they don't have an online version itself. That's what Scopus tells. Okay.
Okay.
Scopus tells very clearly that this particular psychosocial rehabilitation does not have a online version, but you
Okay.
have an online version. Number one. Number two, in the month of February and March, if you have seen, there has been more than 5,000 articles published in 1 month. 5,000 articles published in 1 month, sir. Okay. That is why the psychosocial rehabilitation has been now stopped. Has been totally stopped.
Some disturbance are there.
Yeah, someone has
Yes,
not
some
muted their audio.
participation open the mute, unmute, and they are.
I'm searching for the person who was unmuted. I'm
No,
not
sir,
able.
that person is Android Blue Droid. I don't know what's his name, but that participation list.
Actually-
That my mic is open.
Actually, I thought there is some cultural program going on. As we have approached validatory function, I thought it's some cultural program.
Okay, I have muted the thing because I have the control here. I'm muting each and every person. So I think so. I have answered, sir, properly.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, supposing I have sent an article to a predatory journal, and then I found that it is predatory, I want to retract it. What is the procedure, sir?
Your question itself is a little bit confusing to me because knowing that predatory, you are sent to
No,
the
unknowingly.
unknowingly.
No,
Okay.
unknowingly. Yeah. So
Unknowingly.
later I found it. So
Ma'am, you cannot-
how
no,
do
you
I
can-
retract it?
No. Before you are making the payment, if you withdraw, it is good enough. Or else it is
sir.
like putting the money into what normally we call here as putting into a Tirupati temple, likewise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Before paying the money. Before
Now,
paying
before-
the money,
Before paying
so
the
what to
money,
do, sir?
before paying the money, if you would have found it out, immediately,
Yes, sir.
immediately mail them or whatever mode of method you have send the paper to them. Ask them to stop it immediately and have the proof of that email with you. They
Okay,
should-
so I should get a reply from them, sir?
Ma'am,
I should get a reply?
please be very clear. You said the word predatory journal, so
Yes, sir.
they will not publish your paper unless you pay the money. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
They will not publish. Don't worry.
Actually, yeah.
They need money, so until
sir.
otherwise you pay the money, they will not publish your paper. So you can be
Okay,
very
sir.
happy now, but just put a mail to them that they are not
Okay,
supposed
sir.
to publish your paper. That's all.
Okay. Once I send the mail, then I can send the article to some other journal,
You
sir?
can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
You can do it.
Okay. All right. Sir, what is the ISSN number and the ISBN number concerned with, and how is it significant?
Ma'am, ISBN is for the books, ma'am. Okay, International
books,
Standard
yes,
for
sir.
Book Numbering. It is for
Yes,
it is
sir.
purely for the books only.
Okay,
Books
sir.
or souvenirs or whatever it is there, everything comes under ISBN.
Yes, sir.
ISSN is for the journals or magazines
Okay,
or
sir.
whatever it is there. International Standard Serial Number is for the particular journals is concerned. So,
So
don't
every journal will have it, sir?
every journal should have it, ma'am. Not will have it. It should have it. Otherwise, they
Okay.
cannot be called as a what you can call as a journal. And ISSN has two types. It is for the print there will be a separate ISSN. For online there will be a separate ISSN. Predatory journals will play in this. How they play is
Okay.
they will get one online journal. Suppose the journal will be having only print ISSN number will be there. Using the same print ISSN number, they will be also doing online publishing.
Okay, sir.
Now it is predatory. That is, they are cheating you. You can find the ISSN number by going to the ISSN website. Once you go and type the ISSN number there, you will come to know about the journal, who is the publisher, who is the owner of that particular ISSN number. Everything will come to you.
Okay, sir.
For ISBN in India, Rajaram Mohan Roy Library is there. You can go to Rajaram Mohan Roy Library and you can search for the ISBN numbers.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, IEEE papers, if it is published, sir, IEEE papers,
Yes, sir.
it's an ISBN, sir, it is workful, sir. IEEE journal, IEEE papers, if it is published, and the conference papers, if it is published in a journal or something, I meant to say it is ISBN. It is workful.
No, I'll tell you. Shall I answer, Dr. Sumendra?
Yes, sir. It's your area, sir.
IEEE has stopped publication before some 7-8 years. Almost a decade it has stopped publication of journals. It's conducting only conferences and prepares only conference proceedings. That's why you have only ISBN number, not ISSN number. So IEEE published.
So it is not counted.
Yes, it's outdated. It's up to you.
It's very good papers, huh?
No, it's up to you.
It's a standard publication for it.
It was a standard publication publishers. It was a standard published book. But later, it stopped publication completely and supported only conference and conference proceedings. So if in my college, I conduct a conference, I can approach IEEE to publish this as a conference proceedings. So that will have only ISBN number. I don't know whether, and I will not say all my papers are substandards, which my college gives to that particular IEEE. No, I cannot say no, if they are all substandard. I will say only, I will market them only as standard one. So again, you have to be very, very careful in publishing with IEEE, because IEEE you can check, you can verify in Google and go to IEE and check whether they are still publishing. They have stopped publishing as far as I know. And okay, and actually this is to Dr. Selvi. And
So how can I check whether
yes,
how can I check whether it is ISSN and ISBN? Is there any website for checking whether it's right or whether the number is right?
just enter the number and say whether it is ISSN, ISBN. But as Dr. Sumendran told, for ISSN you have a separate. He told me just now, Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Sir,
For ISBN, Shantanu sir, we have in Government of India, we have Raja Ram Mohan Roy Library. Okay, go to the Raja Ram Mohan Roy Library, or you type in Google ISBN Government of India. It will directly go to the Raja Ram Mohan Roy Library. Okay, open it there, and you can in the search column you can put the ISBN number. Automatically it will tell you whether the ISBN number is real or not real.
Sir.
ISSN, you have a separate website again. Go there and type because suppose I am a national publisher, I have my ISBN numbers with me. I get the ISBN number from the Government of India. Okay, so the Government of India has a track of whatever ISBN number is given to me. For my publisher, in my name I am getting it, in my company's name I am getting the numbers. So that numbers will be automatically stored in the server of the Raja Ram Mohan Rai Library. That you can identify. Simply just putting numbers is not
the book
important
name
here.
as well as the book name as well as the number, both are shown in that particular
Sir, book
website.
name and number will be shown only after 1 year of publishing, sir. Because ISBN, the total governing body is in UK. So it is India is running here from Raja Ram Mohan Rai Library. ISBN's entire control is from UK. So the entire details of the book and other things will be available normally after 6 to 8 months. And we can take even a buffer time up to 1 year. Maybe after 1 year, it may be available. Because our government officials will send it first of all, the publisher will send it very late after publishing to the Raja Ram Mohan Rai Library. Likewise, there are lakhs of publishers sending the copy of the book to the Raja Ram Mohan Rai Library. The librarian has to make entry for all these things, and we know how the government official librarian will be working there, and he has to enter each and everything, and then he has to put it in the portal of the UK ISBN, because they are the authorized body to recognize. So normally, I have published a book. Till now it does not, and I have sent it to ISBN 6 months back. But till now, when I go and type the ISBN number, I am not getting my name. I am not getting the author name. So it takes its time.
Sir, would you suggest some standard publication for a reputed journal for ISBN or almost all?
Sir, if you use the word journal, then please tell it as ISSN. It is not ISBN.
ISBN. Now I am asking ISBN. Is there any
Sir, ISBN does not have any journal, sir. ISBN is a books, that's all.
Sir,
Any text.
for book publication. Yes, sir. I'm asking you for book publication. Is there any standard publishers there for
Sir, you have,
published books?
sir, I'll tell you, sir, I'll tell you, be very clear in that there are two types of publishers today in India, sir. One is called as the national publisher and another one is called as a regional publisher. Okay, the regional publisher, that is if you are from Odisha, the regional publisher will be there. The rights will be given from the government of India to publish the book only in English and Orissa, that's all. They cannot publish anything more than that language. Okay. National publishers. I'm a national publisher. I have rights got from the university to publish any language in India. Okay. So that what you can call, I have the portal login with Rajaram Mohan Roy library itself. Okay, I can go to the Rajaram Mohan Roy library and I can go for any language printing. Okay, so you have to search in the Rajaram Mohan Roy library who are all the publishers available with you in Orissa, whether really they are regional or they are national. And today there is third category which I have seen in, from my Coimbatore, I can tell you, there are many printing presses here. Okay, Xerox shops are there. They are all calling themselves as publisher. Okay, what they do is they go and meet a regional publisher. They'll give some small amount, say 3,000 rupees or 4,000 rupees to get the ISBN number. That's all. And they themselves call themselves as publisher. They put, everyone calls themselves as publisher now. Suppose if Shantanu Kumar wants to publish a book and you want to put your publisher name as your wife's name, that is a publishing wife under your wife's banner, you can do it. What you have to do is go and meet any regional publisher, pay some money and get the ISBN number, the barcode. Then you can publish by yourself. But how far it is credible, and till the end of your life, the rights is not with you. The right will be with only regional publisher. Please be very clear. Because you have got the number from that fellow by paying a money, but his name will be entered in ISBN, not your name. So you are not the owner of the book till the end.
Self publishing. So many books are published like that.
Many books are published, sir. Actually, I am. We are, see, Mahalingam sir writes lot number of books. He knows more about books because he translates English book to Tamil book or Tamil book to English book. That is major work actually. So we see people here. I am a national publisher. They don't come to me at all. Okay, in the entire Coimbatore district, I am the only national publisher. They don't come to me. But I am seeing in near my office there are 3 Xerox shops are there, and they are publishing books after books after books. I don't know from where, and they are not under Rajaram Mohan Roy library.
Okay, actually we have forgotten the first part of this topic, today's topic. How to prove the journals. So, on top of you are talking about only putting ISBN, switched over to ISBN, okay, let it be. But on behalf of, in the scholar's perspective, I am asking a question, not a question. Let us discuss on this. So, if I have a paper with me, which is reasonably good, so how should I choose the journal based on the impact factor? Shall we discuss on this?
Sir, yes sir, yes sir. Yes sir, please proceed sir.
Yes. No. I'm asking. So, see, for example,
Sir, as of my knowledge goes, my first preference will be, I'll say in a practical way, okay, there is a need for publishing now. Because either a research scholar will come at the last minute of their death of their PhD. Because if I don't publish the paper, I cannot submit my synopsis. When you are going to submit the synopsis, it's a day after tomorrow, sir. That is, by Monday morning, they have to submit the synopsis. Till Monday, today is Saturday or today is Friday, they'll come and tell, sir, I have a paper, sir. Monday morning, my guide has said me to submit the synopsis. Now, along with synopsis, they have to submit at least one paper. Now, what can I do? Now, I have to leave away my ethics. I don't have any other option. I have to support the research scholar because it is their life. Okay, I have to first see the life of an individual. So, I don't have any other option. Yes, give the paper. I'll go through it. I'll edit it in such a way that it is applicable to the journal. We do the editing work, putting that even their name will not be proper, designation will not be there, nothing will be there. I have to prepare everything. At the end, if I go, no conclusion will be there. References will not be there. Okay, everything I prepare. Then I'll send it to the journal and I will sit behind the journal editor by sending email every 2 hours to see that by Monday morning it is published. And I have done many cases where they go to the doctoral colloquium and they will be opening the door of doctoral colloquium, the message will come to the mobile, paper published. It has been done. So no other way, no other chance. I have to see whether the quality of the paper is there or not, or should I see the life of the researcher. So life of the researcher comes first for us. Okay. So then only the quality of the paper comes. Then only comes the quality of the journal. So it becomes a vice versa concept today that we have to support the researchers. Second category is the people. Some people will come and tell, sir, I want to write a quality paper. Then yes, if they come out in that particular way, we will suggest them, or I do suggest them in terms of telling that these are the list of journals, what is the procedure, everything. And in that also there are some of the faculty members who will tell, sir, SCI, SSCI paper only I have to write. I am writing and giving to you. Please help me in publishing. I'll tell, I cannot do anything in publishing. They'll tell, sir, that login ID password will come. No, sir. Okay. That also you create and give it to us, sir.
Yes.
After every 1 month or 2 months, reviewer will be giving the feedback, and I have to fill up the feedback also. That is one work again going on. It happens.
My advice to scholars in science, because since I come from science background, so if you have a reasonably good paper, first choose a very good higher impact. The reason is, say for example, compare 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, just send your paper to the journal which has impact factor 3.5 or all genuine journals. So among these three, choose the journal with highest impact factor, because you have a very good chance of publishing your article in that particular journal. It will be very useful for you for your future. So you'll have all the credit. But if it is worth publishing in 3.5 impact factor journal, and if you send to a journal which has only impact factor 1.5, they will immediately publish, but again you will lose. 2 impact factors are lagging behind. So first you send to the journal which has 3.5 impact factor. Even if it is not published, you will get very good comments. Why it is not published? So you make the changes accordingly, and again if they reject it, go for 2.5. So come in the descending order. Don't underestimate yourself. If you are confident enough of your quality, then come from the highest impact factor. That will help you to get credits. So that's my advice to scholars.
I'll just add on to what Mahalingam sir has said. What Mahalingam sir said is absolutely right, 100% right. But there's a small contradiction in this with Mahalingam sir is, it is more applicable in science subject, Mahalingam sir, because it is more applicable. But when you see this social science, particularly management and commerce stream, if you see, sir, we do not know exactly what we are exactly teaching itself. Okay. In MBA, we would have read about all the subjects in second semester. When I am doing my MBA, financial management, marketing management, HRM, everything we would have read. Third and fourth semester, we will read our special. Once coming to teaching, I have seen my faculty members when I was HOD, even Gokul is smiling there, he was there with me and everyone. I will ask them, please can you handle any other, apart from their specialized area, if I ask them to take a paper, immediately they'll run away as if they have not studied the paper. It is too difficult for management and commerce people here that we have like jack of all trade, and till now we have not become a master in one particular thing, sir. It's too horrible. Our program scenario is like this way. We ourselves are only telling that I am a HR person, I am a finance person, I am only telling it. Okay. The course is not telling me that I am an experienced person. Like in chemistry, like you tell that you are good enough in cancer chemotherapy or whatever it is there, you go in a specialized field. Here in management or commerce, we don't have it. We call ourselves as mix of everything. We are like a mix of all things put together. And normally I give a comment, management people are the big mismanagement people. We normally confuse ourselves to the extent possible. we know finance, we know HR, we know marketing, we know MIS, we know everything. So we write paper in all the areas. Research papers comes to me. I also write papers in different areas. Okay, and we get confused what to put, what not to put. So what happens here is the number of predatory journals for management discipline only is getting on more compared to science. Similarly, now the habit has become in engineering also. Everyone in engineering is doing that same kind of work. So it becomes difficult for us to exactly search for the impact factor. In science, it is highly possible. It is highly possible in science and mathematics. But whereas in social science, it is becoming too tough for us.
Yes, I recently I was supposed to read a paper. I just myself downloaded from a non-predatory journal. There were only two headings: introduction and conclusion. You won't believe. If anybody wants, I can paper. And that paper, I will not mention the whole title. That's something about nanotechnology. So everyone will be frightened to see the title has nanotechnology. But the article was on Chandrayaan. There was no connection between Chandrayaan mission and nanotechnology. There was one beautiful figure in that showing that vehicle, that launch vehicle and moon's space. So these things were there, but only introduction and conclusion. Then I asked how it was published. Then the one who is running the journal told, no, we should have only the keywords. Somewhere in the text, if you have nano, then they can publish. And how, so many of you asked how a journal can be included in UGC or whatever listing. See, if I run a journal, I want to include this in UGC. What I have to do? First, I have to get some 1 or 2 months publication. That means 2 years or 2 years it should have been published. Then I will take these bunch of journals and go to 10 colleges in Tamil Nadu and universities. And there I have to seek a person like Dr. Darling Selvi, who is in the IPS. Then I have to get their signature in a particular form. This is worth reading, so I recommend this under UGC. So that 10 colleges have to go, and if they ask money you have to pay, then you have to approach the big boss. Then finally it will be in the UGC list. Then will you think that there will be any standard? So this is why I hate UGC listing. As Sumendra and Prithviraj sir told that we should give some respect to UGC, I am giving the same respect, but there is a question as a citizen of India and as a ex-research scholar, I am asking, who is UGC to decide on what papers we should publish? And how that can be taken for giving employment to us? No university like Anna University, they do not have any rights. I can say they came into a mission to stop this predatory channel, but what they are doing, they are giving space to the predatory channels. Now the predatory channels have increased in number. Exponentially they have increased because it's easy for me to get listed in the UGC because I have money. If I have money, I can start a journal. I cannot one journal, I can start 10 journals, and listed in one in UGC, one in the second term, as he told, in group A, group B, section 1, section 2, group 1, group 2, annexure 1, annexure 2. I can do all kind of nonsense so that my business also runs. But so this is the scenario we have in India, but not only in India, you have the same thing in other countries also. So we should be very, very careful in choosing the journals. That's what I wanted to insist. Okay.
Sir, UGC also they have come out with this consortium CARE, C-A-R-E, CARE. A new website was created for CARE itself individually in the year 2019 June, and very big people from University of Hyderabad, University of Pune particularly. All these people became a part and parcel of this particular journal, that CARE group, saying that they are going to come out with ethics. The last word E stands for ethics. Please log into UGC website and see the group 1 list, okay, and take each and every journal. Parishod journal was there. I'll tell you at least I can name at least 20 journals. The name of the journal and their language in which they are supposed to publish is only Hindi, Marathi, okay. And you open the journal and see, you can find at least 10,000 articles published only in English, not even a single paper in Marathi. UGC didn't do anything. Almost 8 months that Parishvat journal was there. Similarly, Gujarat Education Society, they have a journal. That journal is supposed to have only print edition, no online version. But they have an online version, and you can go and check it in archives. Every month they are getting at least 300 papers every month. 300 papers, and if you put after all expenses, even if they get 1,000 rupees as profit, what is the money that they are earning? And that the Gujarat Education Society, the journal is they call themselves as a non-profitable organization created for the development of education. You can see all those things. Their vision is to develop education, but they are doing it. Parikrama journal is there. Go and see there which subject they are supposed to do. Only that subject papers are not coming for them. All the remaining papers are coming for them, and they are publishing it.
So
UGC knows it. UGC knows it very well. They know pretty well that the scare is being created to get the fund from the government and to use it for them, and journals are surviving. It's a mutual understanding between the publisher and the UGC. That's all. And we are part and parcel of, like we are actors, just acting according to whatever UGC is telling. If UGC says okay, we will nod our head. If publisher tells okay, we will nod our head. Because we need our paper to get published. That's all. Our motive is paper getting published. Where we publish, what we do, we are not bothered.
okay, any questions
Any
from
other
the
questions are there from any persons? You can ask us now.
Sir, actually in the chat box we have
Yes,
a
sir.
question from Abdul Rahim. Whether all paid journals are predatory? Whether all paid journals are predatory?
No, the answer is simply no.
okay,
Just-
but
Sir, please tell me, sir. Please tell me.
because earlier, some 15-20 years ago, even very good publishers like Elsevier, they asked money because at that time that was only print media, online was very, very less. So if your paper contains color images, so which they have to spend color inks, for that you have to pay. That was the category some 20 years ago. There you have to pay some article processing charges from Elsevier, actually from Elsevier. So that kind is acceptable, and the other kind is as degraded. Like that, some journals are there, so you cannot generalize that all the paid journals are not predatory journals. Some very good journals also they collect some kind of money. Again, you have to check, and with the statistics you have to check. As Subhendran sir rightly pointed out in his slides, as well as he commented on that.
Sir, one more question. How can I find top list Indian journal and impact factor for reference or publish? How can I find top Indian journal and impact factor for reference or publish?
No, just go to the website and see. You can see they claim some impact factor. By that you can compare. There is no separate listing and all. But why you want to do so, I don't know. You want to publish only in the topmost journal.
Yes, sir. Just give an answer, very simple answer. You want to publish or you want to read or whatever it is there, my suggestion will be go to IIM Ahmedabad or IIM Bangalore or IIM Kozhikode, IIT Chennai, very good place. IIT Chennai library is the best place. You have these places, go to their library. These libraries will not have predatory journals. These libraries will not have any kind of what you can say open access journals. They only have the journals of repute only will be available in that particular library. Sit in that library, search for the journal names. You want the journal names, right? Go there, take all the journal names, write down the name of the journal. Behind the journal, there will be one page will be there saying that how instructions to author will be there. Suppose you want to put a paper, take that journal, make a note of the journal name, the contact address and email address and everything of the journal. At the last page, you will be given instructions to the author, how the author has to publish the paper, how to write the paper will be given there. Make a note of it and then go. That is how you can search for the journals. The journals of good repute of India can be searched from these libraries rather than searching through online, because most of the online websites have been hijacked already.
Yesterday there was a question which has day before yesterday. This is linking that question to this answer. One asked, what if we have to do? Can we use SciHub to download a paper which does not have DOI? You can very well go to these libraries, as I mentioned. They have all backed volumes, all very good journals starting from 1890s, 1900s. You have all back volumes there. You can
Everything is there. Everything has been digitalized.
now digitized also. There you can go and search which does not have papers that do not have DOI numbers. That's very good source. But nowadays we are very lazy. We are depending only upon our phone and computer. We do not want to travel for this purpose. Earlier, when we used to do PhD, first 6 months we have to travel to IIT. Since I'm from science background, IISc Bangalore, Central Electrochemical Research Institute, Karaikudi, and Anna University, Madras University. These institutes abstract cards. That is a postcard like thing, abstract card. We go and write only the abstracts, collect literature and write ourselves, then giving it for typing, then making corrections on. But nowadays they cut, copy, paste. That's why the problem of plagiarism arises. So this is something I wanted to add.
So the next question is, there are UGC CAT journals who asked to submit papers through mail. Is that a point of concern? Asked by Ankita Gupta. There are UGC CAT journals who asked to submit papers through mail. Is that a point of concern?
No, it's not a point of concern. It's very happy that you can submit to them directly, not a point of concern. You can do it.
Then one more question from Karupusamy. Sir, yesterday, as you mentioned, the Indian journal, our thesis is showing 93% plagiarism. Even now, how can I find highly cited journal and not exceeding 10% in India?
Can you repeat the question again, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Yesterday, as you mentioned, Indian journal, our thesis is showing 93% plagiarism. Even now, how can I find highly cited journal and not exceeding 10% plagiarism in India?
Yes, confused both the thesis and journal.
Yeah.
Okay. Thesis is something different. We are not speaking about thesis of other things today. We are speaking about the journal publishing. That's what I said. Like rightly said by Mahalingam sir, either you search with the help of your system, you go and search journal names, you have to search. It's like again research only. You have to do a research about to find out what are all the good journals. Or if time permits, please go to the reputed libraries, kindly sit there, you will get, and all those journals will request you to send a paper only if the plagiarism is less than 10% or maybe 12%. There are many good Indian journals, Indian Journal of Management, Indian Journal of Marketing, Indian Journal of Finance. There are submitting a paper to these journals will take a lot of time for you. You have to work like anything. It is like preparing a thesis itself. Write one paper for Indian Journal of Marketing, you have to at least sit and write for 6 months. You can't do it easily. It's not so easy. Similarly, IIM Bangalore has a journal. IIM Ahmedabad has a journal. These journals are coming directly under Elsevier. So writing a paper is not so easy for them. Similarly, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad, EDI, they have their library. The library is free. And once, there's an option, research scholars and faculty members can use EDI library. That there is a option where you will be given free stay also. Okay, the stay is free for you, the food is free for you. You can go and stay there for 7 days in EDI Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And Dr. Ganesh Bhattini is the librarian, chief librarian and the coordinator of EDI Ahmedabad. Please contact him. He will support to the maximum extent. Please contact him. And EDI library has best possible resources digitalized. You can use that. And you want any, and it is 24/7. It's 24/7. You can sit in the library anytime, whichever you want, and even students will be sitting along with you. It is like a free place where cafeteria, everything will be available for you 24/7 and 65 days. Sit there, copy, and every Wi-Fi connection will be given to you. You can download anything whichever you want. Whatever is downloadable, you can download in your system automatically. No restrictions is given in EDI Ahmedabad. Similarly, in IIM Ahmedabad also.
Sir, one more question asked by the very same person.
Yes, ma'am.
Free journal and paid journal, both are getting same grade point or will it be varying? Free journal and paid journal, both are getting
But who is actually doing the grading? There is nobody to grade. That is the problem. Too much of grading is also a problematic one. So if as far as the quality is good, whether it is paid or unpaid or free, then you will not have any problem with your credibility at all. But even if you do not pay, so think that I am running a free journal but it is fake. So for someone's using someone's money, I can run a free journal. I can publish all rubbish. Then since it is free, will you take that this is a very good quality journal? Again, it cannot be decided on whether it is paid. You cannot say, as already pointed out, you cannot say all paid journals are fake journals. Similarly, all free journals are not predatory journals. Both conclusions you cannot derive from the whether the payment system, whether it is paid or unpaid. And I seek Dr. Sumendran's advice also.
Right, sir. What you said is right, sir. Because it is a, what you can say, a cat on the wall. We can't decide on what is going to really happen. UGC, suppose if you take UGC, when they created this CARE, that's consortium for academic research in ethics, what I felt personally was they did not appoint any members from either IIT or IIM. They did not appoint even a single person because IIM, IIT people are a little bit rigid in terms of their conclusions, in terms of what quality has to come. They did not take any IIM directors or the directors of IIT from Chennai or Kharagpur or IIT Mumbai, what you call Mumbai has the Sailesh J. Mehta School of Management. All these directors are known for international repute, but none of them were considered in this UGC CARE listing as a board member. Only the vice chancellors of different universities, all coming under one category, they were there and they decide what journal has to come. Over. The work is over with them.
Yes, as sir told here from Coimbatore, Dr. Sumendran and I are speaking about UGC, but actually it is Dr. Darling Selvi and others who are working in government colleges. They should raise their hand united to address these issues. Really I'm telling. So okay. Now the question is for the viewers. You were asking, you were shooting questions continuously at us. Now the question is for the viewers. So what can be done as a researcher to curb this problem of predatory journals? What are your views? What is your contribution so that no more predatory journals will come into play, or all the already existing predatory journals will close themselves? What is our contribution, including me? Can any viewer give his view or her view? We know predatory journals exist, but we do not want them to exist. But what is your contribution?
Stop sending articles to them.
Yes. On this fine day, I want to take everyone to take a vote and not to send any of your papers to a predatory journal. I'm very hard on this.
My opinion is, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please tell me, sir.
Yes.
My opinion is the work at the last moment.
Okay, I'll put out the point what Mr. Gokul is trying to tell. Time management. That is the last minute working of the researchers. That is the most important point, sir. Mahalingam sir, that is the most important point. Both the research supervisor and the student has to understand that everything goes systematically. That if they want to submit the synopsis at least 2 months earlier, they should have submitted the paper to a proper journal, not at the last minute. Because we are facing it, ma'am. Actually, darling ma'am, we are seeing it. I have seen it. I have done it. Very sorry to tell it also, but I have done it. Sunday morning, a person came. Yeah, sir knows that person also very well. Mahalingam sir knows that gentleman very well. Okay, he came and said, "Sir, Monday morning suddenly he didn't see the message of his guide. He saw it on Saturday evening, saying that, sir, Monday morning they kept my DC sir at 12 o'clock. Okay, sir. Synopsis is everything correction and all he gave. Then he said, sir, the journal paper I didn't publish, sir. What to do? One journal has to be published. Time Sunday morning 11 o'clock. And he came from the church directly. So Mahalingam sir can understand who is the client now. Okay, so he came and he said me, sir, tomorrow morning 11 o'clock what to do, sir? And the guide has very strictly said, get the journal certificate and the journal paper first page to submit the synopsis. Immediately one paper was written from his content, whatever was there. Theoretical paper was written. By the time 1 o'clock was over, when the paper was completed. Then what to do, I thought, okay, I called some of the journal, message, I don't have number, email as to send emails. By around 3 o'clock, one journal person said, yes, please send, we will publish and give you. Because the time limit was Monday morning 10 o'clock, certificate should be there, journal published in the website should be there. Which journal can do? Almost to 11 journals we sent email. One journal came forward. We sent the paper, paid the money online immediately to them. Exactly 10:30, he didn't enter the university also. We were sitting in the office and looking at the website. 10:45 sharp, email came, certificate came to us and said, please open the link. In the link paper was there. Immediately ran to the university to do his colloquium. If that is the case of the researchers, we from the corporate scenario who are supporting your academics, okay, we are allied part and parts of the academics. We are also forced. We are forced because all are known people to us. We don't have any other option. We also have to leave our ethics and keep it aside and then do it. I can tell very directly to him, sir, sorry sir, I cannot do. There will be another person like me who will help him out. Okay, and might be he'll be spending more on that. Better I will not do and give it to him. Why should I spoil him to go to some other place and get spoiled more? So I don't have any other options. So this is the real fact happening. So researchers, please, what you can say, allocate your time. There are a lot of time to do the research and write the paper. Allocate your time and see that you are well ahead of your papers to get published, so that it gets published in a proper platform. Don't rush with regard to the impact factor is concerned, like what Mahalingam said, that there's no impact factor at all. It is just a myth. It's just a myth saying that there is some kind of mark called as impact factor. No. Search for the publisher and publish it. Automatically you will be recognized. Because once you publish in a right journal, comparing it to the impact factor, your Google Scholar citation will increase. Everyone has forgotten the word called as Google Scholar citation. How will you improve your Google Scholar citation? Once your paper is really good and it is being published in a good journal, another person will refer your journal. Another person will read your article and they will cite your article. So Google Scholar citation is very, very important. So please keep in mind that you are putting up papers, taking a lot of time to write that particular paper and then searching for a good publisher and give it.
Yes, regarding the time, I'm not from management background. Yet time management is important for everyone. I took 6 months to write a paper. For science, this is the ideal thing. You have to take 6 months after completing all your laboratory works. Take 6 months to write a very good paper. Then you can be very sure of publishing it in a very good journal. This is my opinion. If any difference in opinion, you can share it. Well, I'm talking about science.
No, sir, it's not 6 months, sir. Actually, that's what I said. No, for putting a paper on SCI, we wrote the paper for almost 9.5 months, and then we submitted, and then to get published, it took another 6.5 months. Okay, and in the 6.5 months, we had 6 corrections, sir. So SPSS, we got the output. SPS output, normally SPS output will be an image. We put that image. With that image was not proper for them. They asked how to do that image, so we had to give the proof to them. So it It is not that easy to submit a paper in a well-reputed quality journal. It will not take 1 month or 2 months. You have to slog on for at least 1 year, 1.5 years. That's what I said. It's like doing a thesis work.
Sir, few questions from the same person, Mageshwari, but we discussed all about it already. What is the quality of unpaid journal? We are not have standard UGC CAR list journal list. This list are frequently changed. And again, is it UGC CAR list journals are frequently changed? I think we had
We have already discussed on this, ma'am.
lengthy,
We have already.
lengthy discussion on it.
Make me EC chairman for that taking decision, then I will make everything right.
Then one more question from Dr. Veena Somnath. In the year 1987 publications, there is no DOI number. I have lot of publication without DOI. My question is, my old publications are valued till today.
Definitely they are valid. Definitely they are valid because sometimes it happens you might have published in a particular very high reputed journal, but the journal name might have changed now. Or it may have gone to some other publishers, but you have all links. So if that is published in that particular year, people know that this was at that time with that publisher, and the journal name was like this because the new name, no, it will be always having the old name also. In many journals you can see earlier it was like this, new name is like this. So definitely it is valid. So don't think that DOI will decide it. So as sir already told, DOI has to be applied to get the number, and it is in the process. So many journals are approaching DOI and they are getting it so that they can be easily identified in the digital platforms. This is my answer, and I'm waiting for Sumant answer.
Yes, sir. What is it is right. An add-on point for this is DOI. If the same journal is existing, DOI has given an option to the journals and saying that old papers can again be reissued. And you can, what you can do is you can republish again the same paper without even a single word change. You are not supposed to make any changes in the word of your previous thing. They can republish it free of cost, and once it is republished, it will come out with DOI number. This is option number 1. If the journal is existing, if the journal is not existing now, then you can write to the DOI email is there in their website. You can make a mail to them by attaching the paper as a PDF format. They will cross-verify all the authenticity and they will provide you the DOI numbers to you. DOI is doing it because there are a lot of IIM faculties who have written their papers prior to 1990, and all the papers have got DOI number now. It is by these two things which you can do it.
Okay, sir. Durai Raja, sir.
Yes, Surya, sir.
Sir, very general question. People who are trying to get into a research domain from corporate, like me, from corporate or industrial background, we initially write some articles. For such articles, what kind of journal we can prefer?
No, sir. See, articles you write it. You which domain area, subject area is there? Finance. Yes, sir.
But my plan is to get into a research domain into PhD basically in very short future. Yeah.
Yes, sir. See, there are a lot of journals available, sir. Sir. Many number of journals are there, and there are journals available in UGC listing itself. Search whether the journal is really a good thing, whether they have both print ISSN and what you call e-ISSN. Both ISSNs will be there. Okay, and you can submit the paper there, and you can start writing, and then you can start learning about these things. So, a lot of things are there which you can do it step by step. You can go step by step process. No need to jump immediately to say that I am preparing my paper for a very good journal. Please don't do that mistake, because journal writing itself is a skill. It's not so easy to write on paper. It's a skill actually. It's an art, and art cannot come easily to all of us. Art of writing the journal is something which you have to learn from the scratch. So write small articles and give it to some journals so that you will learn how to introduce the topic, how to literate the topic, how to come with a discussion on the topic, how to conclude the topic. You will have a practice. Create that practice by submitting into small journal, but not predatory journals. Then Once you start doing your PhD on your topic, you start searching many things and then start writing it. It becomes easier. We cannot jump at saying that I'll do the things as a miracle and get a magic and do something. We cannot do it. Small things, small articles, you just start writing it. It can be done.
Sure. Sure, sir. That's what exactly I want. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And
Sir, one more question.
If you are from IT background, if you know some IT knowledge, create some blogs, create some creative blogs, and have that blog of your writing there also into that. Okay, and that blogs can help you. Blogs created by yourself. Have a blog or a website in your name and write your papers and put in your blog itself. Maybe those blogs or your writing will help you out when you're doing your PhD. That instead of giving to someone else, have it in your own copyright. That will give you more additional advantage.
Excuse me, sir. Sir Christopher here.
Thank you
Sir, sir,
Thank you.
sir, writing in a blog. Will it in that also we have to maintain the ethics, right now?
100%.
I mean, we should avoid plagiarism,
100%.
and we should cite others, right?
Yes,
We should ignore.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And as a new researcher, I just want to know how much time it will take to finish a paper. It may be a conceptual paper or a research paper. How much effort I have to do, and it is not only for me. My daughters also watching here. They are also participating in this program, and they are budding researchers. So, as like new researchers as like us, so what is your opinion or guidance to us about writing an article?
Yes, sir. A very good question you have asked. So my personal answer is that as a budding researcher or a person who is starting the research, unless and otherwise you don't gain the knowledge of the subject and the domain, it is very difficult to start writing an article. First, you need to collect the information pertaining to the subject and the domain, understand the subject and domain. Then only you can start writing the article. So it depends upon your knowledge ability here. Whether you are going to learn and understand the subject, say within a period of 1 month or 2 months, or it takes even 1 year. First understand the nuances of that subject. Subject has many different categories and it has a lot of domains. So understand all those things first. Second, read many. When you want to understand, you have to read many number of journals and articles. So see how the flow of the research writing is going on. Every author will be having a flow. The flow here refers to the style of writing. Okay, someone will be writing in a different way, another person will be having a different style of writing. Understand all the style of writing and create Christopher's style of writing. Okay, don't copy that same writing. Create your own style of writing. That is very important because that gives an unique identity for Mr. Christopher. So create your identity in writing the scripts. Okay, so these things is combined with a word called as creativity. So you need to be creative enough in understanding the subject, creative enough in writing the article by yourself. Then probably you can start writing. Maybe the writing for the first paper will take you some time. Maybe second paper lesser time, third paper much lesser time. So the day progresses or the year progresses, maybe down the line you can finish off writing a paper in even 1 day also. I normally, for me, the practice of writing the paper has come from, I can say very proudly, from Dr. N. Panjanathan. He is my guide and he is my faculty for. I am doing my MBA program. He is now the Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu University.
Yes, sir.
And
He's the guide of my guide.
Okay, so Panjanathan sir knows me and my family very well. Okay, and no one can. Whatever he talks in the class, he goes to the house, and when I was a student of MBA, he used to call us and sit, and he'll be telling in Tamil and we'll be writing in English. So the flow will come for him. Okay, and if you just go to his Google Scholar citation and just see how many papers he has written and how many countries he has visited. So it is out of practice that within even 1 hour he can write a research article. That is the knowledge which a person gains. So writing a paper normally comes when you gain the knowledge.
Okay.
If you ask me to write any paper on HR subject or marketing subject, surely I can finish it off within one day without any plagiarism. Because
Okay.
I'm reading. See, I'm helping out for people to do something. So we read. Something I take and keep it aside. In the first day class, I think so, Mr. Ture Raja was asking about the COVID-19 and other things. Immediately I showed her the articles because I was writing an article for COVID. So I took out many white papers. White paper refers to the blueprint of Capgemini or blueprint of latest whatever white papers are there. I download it, take a print. I don't read it from the system because reading through the system, what happens is what is there in the first page, you forget the second page. So I take a printout. Always I take a printout. Then I start underlining it. So you have to read. Once you read, I read some around 4 white papers about COVID and retail marketing. I've read. Now through that 4 papers, I can write at least another 10 more papers. I'm trying to combine that papers. Can we put a cross tabulation? Can we put that one? So we are trying to adopt all these things and then we are trying to do it. So you have to read. It's like the word called as learn, unlearn and relearn.
Okay.
So the time management actually depends on the passion and the knowledge of the researcher only. So my son, who is doing PhD in the IITM, took 2.5 years just for the completion of a single research papers to be published in the Journal of Fluid Mechanics. So that depends on the individual researcher.
Dear madam, if you are told to say that
Okay,
at the same time, you already mentioned this that you are doing PhD in IIT.
He's from IIT Chennai. He's from IIT Chennai. PhD from there.
Then the time mentioned by me 6 months and 1 year is very, very so fast.
I thought of interpolating today. He told me that I'm not a graduate PhD. That's it.
Actually, sir, why I asked this question? I know some scholars. They are in my batchmates. They whenever they get invitations for a conference and all, they know that there's a deadline to submit the abstract. That is nearly something like that, 10 days or 15 days. So they immediately write papers and they published. Even they published, and they are insisting me to do the same. So that's why I asked the question.
Sir, Christopher, I said yesterday, no, sir. Microsoft, Bill Gates has given us a big boon. Control C, Control V.
Yeah.
So, unless otherwise Control C and Control V is there in the system, probably any number of paper, even tomorrow morning, if we have an international conference happening in UK or anywhere, every one of us can submit paper, sir. Not a problem.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So Control C, Control V is our right hand and left hand, which we can do anything.
One more shortcut is Control U. Underline this also, that also control. Underline this Control U, that is control is within you and you should control yourself.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So one more question from the chat box. All IASN journals are UGC reference journal.
To Ganesan sir.
Ganesan sir.
Ganesan sir, please I'll make it very clear. If you use the word journal should have ISSN. Without that ISSN number, it cannot be a journal, sir.
Is whether it is UGC referred, he's asked.
All ISSN journals are not UGC referred. You have to go to the UGC website and check out what are all the journals available there. Then you will come to know about the names of the journals. They have given separate classifications. Science separately, arts separately, management and social separately, and multidisciplinary separately. So if you click that one, you will come to know about the list of journals there.
Okay, one more question from me.
Sir.
From this chatter box. Okay. When was this UGC, when did UGC decide to list journals, sir? I'm just asking.
From 2016 end, sir.
Okay, before that, no good publications were there?
Sir, no, it was there. That's what I'm saying. It was there, sir. But Narsimhan Committee report, which was given in the year 1999 or something, Narsimhan Committee report. Till now, there are a lot of other changes happened, but unfortunately, we are still using the name Narsimhan Committee report and Tandon Committee report. Maybe IPSC madam will be knowing Narasimhan committee report only. Whatever we write only Narasimhan committee report. I don't know what mistake he has done it there. His name is being spread like anything. So he has given the instructions to adopt certain practices in terms of journals. So in 2016 end, that classification called UGC refereed journals list came out separately. Then again,
another question follows that. What was the number of predatory journals before 2016 and after 2016?
sir, predatory journals before 2016 was very less, because everyone was able, sir, it is like doing a business, sir. If everyone is having business and everyone is able to run their business, no one will do a mistake. Because I am happy, you are happy. It's like we call in management, we have a box, matrix box is there. So what we do is, if I am happy, you are happy, no mistake will happen. Now once that list has come out, I am happy, you are not happy. So that you are not happy people are coming out with predatory journals. So the predatory journals started increasing after 2016 onwards, because those people who are left out are all creating the predatory journals.
Yes, that means another question is, what business UGC has with others' business?
What business that UGC has with other business, na? Sir, see, sir, this is very practical question which we normally discuss over a common platform to tell. Because ma'am, actually, myself and Mahalingam used to discuss the same topic. We have discussed many times. Okay, and he's putting the same question to me to give the answer here. UGC is
Not
one.
answer, that will be a secret, sir. We don't want answer, let it be a secret.
No, sir, it is not about secret here. It's not called as secrecy here. Let us know the real facts. See, UGC, though they have come out with lot of commendable efforts, they have made lot of things wherein our education system has grown, particularly from after independence, has grown to a particular level, and we are applauded in many ways. See, even IIM or whatever it is there, all on part and parcel of UGC and MHRD, everyone are there. But somewhere down the line, because of certain people, I can say not on UGC, because of certain people in higher positions, they want mistakes to happen. It happens. The UGC is getting a bad name as a whole because of certain people sitting as a board member or sitting as the people who are not understanding what is the ethics to be really followed. They are not doing it. We cannot blame the entire UGC. We cannot blame them fully. They are doing a lot of better works. The best works are done by UGC.
No, the consequence. When you attend an interview, whether it be government interview or any other interview, those who are in the board, interview panel. So since I am from chemistry, I am giving a chemistry example. A world-renowned journal, I have a publication in that particular journal, but the board member should know, the panel should know that such a journal exists and it's a very high reputed journal.
Yes, sir.
But immediately they will ask whether this is UGC listed. So this is beyond the limit of UGC.
That's what I'm saying, sir. The board members, sir.
Who is UGC to ruin my opportunity and opportunity for another who has not done a work which can be equated to my work? That's the question.
Yes, sir. Right. What Mahalingam sir is asking is absolutely right question, because we have seen many people, including Mahalingam sir himself, has seen this problem which he is facing it. See, UGC, that's what I said to you very clearly, Mahalingam sir. The UGC board members who are designing the policy, they are in marketing, we call it as marketing myopia. They close their eyes and they think that they are brilliant, and they do everything as if everything whatever they have done is right. They don't understand the world at large. And if you want to tell in a very colloquial word or things, that they are somewhere down the line bribed by these publishers. This is a real fact.
Yes, whose duty it is to stop this?
It is again the duty of the UGC only to stop it, and the MHRD minister, the central minister of MHRD has to take the necessary steps. Or else, it is the,
what they are doing.
no, as a researcher, we have certain scope only, sir. We have certain scope. As a faculty member of a government college or a university, everyone has a scope. They are tied only beyond, they can't go beyond that. If they want to go beyond that, they will not be able to speak loudly. See, what happens here is other institutions like IIM or IITs have to step further and they have to go and control the UGC. They have to take the step. They have to take the necessary steps in seeing that they should come out and tell to UGC, see, this is what the mistake is being done. Because IIT and IIMs and we can say from Hyderabad, IBS, Indian Business School, or there are many schools of repute from international universities. Benetton Coleman has come in Mumbai. So these kind of internationally reputed faculty members, they have to come forward to develop this UGC and streamline the UGC, which the government has to think. The government has to appoint these people, not the same. See, what government has done a mistake is appointing the same members of an university for rectifying what is the mistake of the university.
Yes,
That is, I am catching one thief and asking the thief to be the head of the police department to catch hold of other thieves. This is what has happened in the publication today.
Nobody, I hope nobody is watching from UGC. This,
No, sir. Sir, luckily, we both are not there in academics, sir. So,
yes, that's what. Since we are not in academic,
so other people are all silent, so only we both are speaking, so we are not in academics. No, man, this is the reality actually.
Yeah.
IIM,
We too the victims of the same.
IIT Chennai or you take IIT Mumbai, sir. IIT Mumbai, Shailesh J's Mehta School of Management is there. Just go and meet any faculty. I met a couple of faculties who have come to Bangalore when I was working there. You should see how their knowledge is abundant. Their knowledge is to the vast. Similarly, from IIM Kozhikode, when I've gone there, I have met a lot of people. I know one of the professor, Dr. Subhash Sharma from IBA, Indian Business Academy, IBA from Bangalore. He was one of the founding members of IIM Ahmedabad. Just sit with him and speak for 10 minutes, sir. You will learn a lot. And they know what is to be published, how to get it published. And they don't publish any article in India, sir.
yes, that's what I wanted to tell also.
They don't publish any article in India, and they know how to publish all the articles in abroad in quality journals. And their books are also getting published only with international publishers, not with national publishers, not with Himalaya publisher or any other publisher. They go with only international publishers. So these kind of people have to be taken on board to rectify this publishing predatory journals, which the government has to do.
At the maximum, I can write an article to the Hindu mentioning this, but 2-3 people will read and throw it.
That's all.
And one more thing I wish to tell all the research scholars who are doing research, or they may be guides also. Actually, don't link knowledge and number of publications. You cannot have a direct proportion. See, many people, they do not publish, but they have excellent knowledge, as Sir told. And it is only the quality, not the quantity. See, for example, I have published papers. It may not be useful for even one, but I have published 3 papers. It may be useful for many people in their academic research as well as in the real world. So don't concentrate on quantity. So quantity should not be a measure to appraise your research career. Rather it should be quality. But there only problem arises. Which is a quality journal? That's where all the confusion starts. For that, as Sir told, we have to means not me or you. The government has to appoint such people in all panels and regularize this, or better abandon this. Better abandon UGC classification, UNIC classification. Abandon this, and the recruiter himself has to do the decision whether it is what. So even you have Google with you now, everywhere you have. So if I say paper X and Y or Z, if he is the panel member, if he is really knowledgeable, he should know whether such journal exists or not. He should know the reputation of the journal, whether it is international or national or only regional. Then he should take decision accordingly. Otherwise, he has Google with him. Immediately he can search. Instead of telling UGC to prepare a list, giving space for bribing and all, why don't they abandon this and give the freedom for the recruiter? Ultimately, we we are doing research for not for the upliftment of the society or not contributing to the research field. We are doing only to get some kind of job. So this is my humble opinion, and it's time I will stop talking.
One last question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
So
how
it's
to
going
write
to be
a,
one of like,
hello?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Please tell me, sir.
Sir, how to write a paper in Scopus? What is the criteria?
So this is funny.
Sir, you are coming to the very beginning part of the session, sir. Okay,
I am-
sir. Okay, I'll tell you, sir. Make it very simple, Gokul. Make it very simple. Your area is on camel methodology for banks, right?
Because I asked this to many people,
Okay.
nobody is giving the right answer.
Okay,
They're not
you are,
giving the
that's what, sir, I'm coming to your topic directly. I'm coming to your topic of your research work directly. Your work is on banks performance using camel methodology, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now, take out your research work which you have done till date. Okay, you will be having chapter 1 introduction part. Now, first step which I am giving to you, or the work which I am giving to you is read the entire chapter 1 and convert that chapter 1. Maybe chapter 1 will be running it for 30 pages.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the 30 pages, I want you to reduce it only to half a page, sir. First do that work. Like what kids do in a comprehensive passage, they'll be given a very big passage and they'll be reducing it for a smaller passage. Likewise, reduce your chapter 1 for only maybe 1 page, sir. The entire introduction chapter which you have created for 30 pages, bring it down to only a single page. That is your first task, sir. That is very important. That's where I'm trying to tell you. You read a lot of things, try to culminate all these things and bring it to a shortest form, but see that the essence of that particular knowledge which you have gained from that chapter is not lost. Scopus wants only that. Or the best publisher want to see that Gokul has learned many things. Okay, I do accept. But have you brought all these things culminated to one particular point? Have you narrowed down yourself and do you have the skill of writing? That is what any publisher looks at. I have seen, because I have not put many papers for publishing. Like Mahalingam sir said, I have only 3 or 4 publishing of repute. Okay, but reading many things, we have to culminate everything, because in good journals, when you open to put, I think the Mahalingam sir also knows about this, abstract, they'll give a small box, only 500 words means 500 words only, not even 501 word you can add there. The box will close automatically. And you need to write the entire abstract of a paper in exactly 500 words. So you need to know how to condense the thing. Introduction, they'll give a small place saying 750 words. 750 words only will be allowed for you to type the introduction there. But you would have read for 30 pages. How are you going to bring down to 750 words? And every word matters a lot. Every word has a meaning. Every word should have a meaning. So start writing it. Take only your thesis. Don't take any other paper. Don't read anything else. Forget everything else. Take your thesis, camel model, bank's performance. You have done it, everything. It is ready now. Take out your thesis. Take chapter 1 and reduce it not more than 750 words. And then you give me a call, sir. I'll tell you the next step. You have my number with you. You give me a call. We daily discuss. So you give me a call. I'll tell you the next step what to do. Go to the next step is literature review. Similarly, you would have taken the literature review for 40-50 pages. Now, I want the literature review only for again 750 words, but having at least 50 citations. You got the point?
Yes.
750 words only, but 50 citations.
Okay, sir. Okay.
This is the toughest task of writing the journal article. You have to reduce the words, sir. You should reduce the words, because you have written pages after pages for thesis. We know how to write, because as a teacher, we were writing in our exams in 10th and 12th. 10th and 12th students were writing the exam. How many papers we write, depending on that, mark will be there. Some old proverb is there. So when we are doing our UG course, I will write 100 pages means I'll get 50 marks. So we will write paper after paper. So we are very good practice in writing after papers. But here in Scopus or SCI or SSC or LC or Taylor Francis, it is not about paper. It is about the concept. It is about the theoretical value which you are going to put in your paper. Be clear in that.
Once one gentleman, one minute, shall I take 1 minute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 minute, okay.
Okay.
Once a gentleman came to once a gentleman approached me and asked, "Sir, I want to write a paper. What journal should I choose?" Then I asked a question, simply a question: For whom are you writing? Whether it's for you or for the readers. Then he simply told, "I am writing for my college management." Then I told, "You can choose any journal." So whom you are writing is very, very important. Don't write for your college management. Don't write for yourself. Write for the reader.
Reader.
Yes, that is very, very important. You keep this in mind. How many people, how many readers would be benefited by your article? That is very, very important. See, if you publish one paper in Scopus Index journal, later the next year, if Scopus removes that particular journal from their list, what will you do? So it should be standard enough so that it is always in the markets. So such a way you have to choose the journal. So with this, I will stop.
So that's what sir is trying to tell is that again, because sir's words were a little bit confusing to many people. Scopus is only an indexing platform. Scopus is not a journal. Please be very clear. It is an indexing platform. So don't say Scopus because it is a wrong notation given by some of the academicians. Some of the academicians are using the word called as Scopus. Scopus is not a journal at all. It is an indexing platform. It's giving a grade for the journal. Like your class teacher, when you are studying in a school, they give for maths 20 marks, physics 30 marks. Like the mark is given for each and every journal. So maths is a subject. Likewise, search for a publisher of repute. Submit the paper. It is more than Scopus. Don't think about Scopus. That's what. There are again another 3 certification: SCI, SSCI, AHCI. Look into it. You will find a lot of good journals. Don't think about Scopus. Don't think about indexing. Think about you write a paper. Your fellow or suppose I normally tell to my students when I teach in the classes that when you want to tell some subject, understand the subject to a person, think that he is a farmer. That is a person who is doing agriculture work and other things. If you go and tell to him, you should understand. Then you are able to explain your things properly. Simply write a paper and give it to your wife or your dad or your mother and see whether they are able to understand something out of it. At least they are having a smile in their face by reading it. Are they able to understand? Because they don't know what the subject is all about. Are they able to understand what you have written? Then the reader is happy. Maybe you are having the chances of 50% of publication. Yes,
I
ma'am.
think it's class 1 o'clock.
No problem.
So we'll be happy if any of you give a feedback for all the 5 days together.
Yes. Madam, I cannot stop myself from not giving feedback about the energy of the people that we had as our resources. It's Madhu sir or Mahalingam sir or Arun Modi, madam. Thanks for all your energy. You did a good job. Make so many awareness of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We have learned many things from you right now. Today's session is very important because I have learned many things regarding communication, regarding communication, SSI, SCI, SCI expanded, and Scopus. Right now, there is many lectures behind our knowledge, like Scopus. Scopus is an indexing platform. It's not a journal. Right? Today itself, I knew, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for providing such a wonderful session. And in this session, in this webinar, you have almost covered all the topics related to the research methodology, everything. And you have answered all the questions. Thank you very much for such a wonderful session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Sir, I could find that this team is a dedicated team.
Your work was excellent, and it was a meticulous planning and very, very scholar friendly. I'm a scholar, so in the last lab, so it was very scholar friendly, and the delivery of the content was very clear.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah, so
Thanks a lot.
overall, the great support from Darling Selvi ma'am. Her the way she conducted the program is excellent. So she addressed all reaches and went on very. I thank every speaker, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thanks for the understandable delivery of knowledges. So it's really I'm really happy, grateful to all the resource persons, Dr. Sumandran sir, Dr. Arunmali madam, Dr. Vishwanathan sir, and the organizers, Dr. Darlene Selvi madam, and the principal, Dr. Maithili madam. So thank you all very much. I thank on behalf of me and my daughters Bhuvaneshwari and Priyadarshini. Thank you all, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I am Dr. Tina Somanas. I found this webinar really helpful. The seminar provided good information on the subject because I know that, but Arunmali madam gave a elaborate matter about the statistics because I know very little knowledge about this. She nicely presented, logical with nice humor. But my opinion is little more worked out calculation. It is that I can follow more easily. Because I know very little only about my research program. Then about Dr. Vishwanathan Mahalingam and Dr. Sumandran is very inspirational delivering of the subject. So easy to receive and very motivational. I thank you very much for the organizers and a very special thanks to Darling Selvi madam and the great speakers. Overall, the webinar is extremely useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
I can't sit back speaking a word of thanks to everyone, special word of thanks to the resource persons, Suman sir, Mahalingam sir and all. I was able to learn a lot of new concepts like reverse engineering concept, and also that was something new for me. Suman sir, thank you so much for those concepts and ideologies. And Darling Selvi ma'am is really a darling. I used to tell this in all the states because she's a very good organizer. She knows what the researchers really want. So on behalf of myself and all the participants, I thank the resource persons and Darling Selvi ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Pini ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Anybody else want to add? Appreciations are coming from all the chat box, Zoom platform as well as from the YouTube. So I thought of winding up the program.
And 1 second, I'll just put a word about that certificate part is concerned. Just put a word to them, ma'am.
Okay.
Dear participants, please kindly listen. Ma'am, Darling Selvi ma'am, thought about this organizing this FDP. We had an idea that there will be hardly around 60 to 80 participants, and keeping that in mind, we came out with this concept of doing it online in Zoom app. But once we came to know that there are more than 242 people have totally registered for this FDP on this research methodology and journal publishing, it has become a Herculean task for us daily morning opening this. By 9 o'clock, I had to open this one and put it in the YouTube linking. Live streaming has to go, and email has to go to all participants. Some people will not see the email, so everyone has to get WhatsApp messages. So we were doing all these things, and it has gone properly and very well. There is a small hitch up in terms of the certificate issuing is concerned, because as promised from our end, the certificates were to be ready by today evening 5 o'clock, and it will be posted in the website. So it may take one more day. I really excuse myself for doing it because I have to prepare all the certificates individually in Photoshop, and then we have to convert it and we have to load it in the website. So it may take one more day. Probably by tomorrow evening by 6 o'clock, you can open the same CBERF website and you can see your name there. Your name will be there in that particular page. Click your name, you will get your certificate downloaded immediately. So I request you to kindly be patient till tomorrow evening to receive the certificates. It will be available there. So this is the first point. Second point, you have given the registration form. I will be sticking on to the registration form of your name and your designation and your college. So accordingly, I am going to prepare the certificates. In case, I'm again repeating, in case if there is any mistake or error in that certificate, please WhatsApp to me only. Do not disturb darling ma'am because she's having another one more workshop to happen. So she'll be busy in that. If you can WhatsApp me immediately so that I'll be able to rectify, because I'll be the person who will be doing that particular part and sending it across. So I will make the changes and send it across to you within a span of time. Maybe within another 1 hour or 2 hours, if I'm available in the system, I'll do it and send it to you. And third point is, apart from the registered candidates, if there are any other person who are watching through YouTube or watching through this Facebook, then these people can contact Dr. Darling Selvi Madam. Through her, it can come to me for giving the certificate, because I will be restricted, because it is the college property of the certificate. I am restricted only for the 242 participants. For the 242 people, the certificates will be ready from tomorrow 6 o'clock evening onwards. You can download it. For the remaining people, apart from that, if there are any other people, please kindly contact Darling Selvi Madam with your name and your your name and your designation, college name, so that ma'am will send it across to me for that particular extra people. Hope that I am clear to every one of you. Sorry for the delay in giving the certificates, because it's a huge Herculean task now to prepare the certificates, which I will do it by tomorrow and give it to you all. Don't fail.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think no other person can give this much of explanation deeply and practically about the predatory journals with authentic evidences. Dr. Sumendra gave an account of subject-wise, article-wise, publication fees, outliers, and features of predatory journals. He gave the record of the avenues of good publication also. The discussion part was extremely good, giving clear-cut responses even to the sensitive matters of publications. We were enriched with the knowledge of ISSN and ISBN and the history behind it. We came to know about the national and international publishers too. We had a healthy and lengthy discussion. The valued advices given by Dr. Sumendran and Dr. Viswanathan Mahalingam are really valuable and useful to every participant. You even went out of the purview and explained the matter. That shows your academic integrity and intellectuality. We assure you, sirs, that we never go for the predatory journals. We will be careful on time management on writing research papers and will contribute our part in stopping the predatory journals. So we came to the end of the 5 days faculty development program. Hope you all enjoyed and got rich input for your research and publication. I thank our beloved principal, Dr. C.V. Maithili ma'am, for your enormous support and encouragement, which enabled us to conduct the program smoothly and successfully. I have no words in expressing our gratitude to the team of Coimbatore Research Forum, who put lot of efforts and worked for a number of days continuously for the success of this program. Dr. Sumendran, founder and managing director, Coimbatore Research Forum, and director of management, development and research, the man behind the scene but meticulously charted all the arrangements. We never be late to start the program on all days. We never faced any technological ups and downs. We never end up the program's paying. We never gone out without getting answers to our queries. We got chances for discussions, got new knowledge, everything because of the team only. I do acknowledge their commitment towards the program for a week long, that too at free of cost, that we never expect from anyone else. He shared with us how to identify and deepen your research methods and methodologies, academic integrity, and avoiding plagiarism, and journal selection and identifying creative journals. Thank you, sir, from the bottom of our heart for the wonderful arrangement and deliverance of different subject matters in a most effective way. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I thank Dr. M. Arunmoli, a research fellow of Bharathiar University, for elaborate and energetic deliverance of the topic, selecting the appropriate measurements, scales, and statistical tools for research. Next, I thank Dr. Vishwanathan Mahalingam, founder, the Royal Author Services, for unleashing all the secrets just for the sake of research scholars and academicians on the topic, secrets behind successful publication of research papers. Today also he interacted with us with valuable comments. The specialty of the program is we got resource persons both from the social sciences and physical sciences to meet the needs of the participants who are from all the streams. I thank all the participants from across the nation and even from abroad for sparing their precious time for the week-long program. Attendance is good, and we got good number of viewers in YouTube also, ranging from 250 to 440 viewers. Participation is easy. Listening is easier. Spending time is the easiest one, but the follow-up and the practicing what we gathered and gained from the program is far reachable and the rare of the rarest. My humble request to all the participants, don't be idle, work and concentrate for the better and best quality research publication in reputed journals and prove yourself as the true and genuine researcher. Saying goodbye is not the end of the journey of research. We have yet another program on the topic, Tools for Research Visibility, on 21st July on the same platform. Invitation will be sent to you all. Thank you all the participants and the team for your cooperation, enthusiasm, and the patience with us. Thank you. Thank you so much on behalf of the IKSC of Raniana Government College for Women. We'll be in touch for future arrangements also. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to all the
Thank you,
participants.
sir.
Thank you very much, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Mahalingam, sir. Thank you, Mahalingam, sir.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.